Define those travels as you can. I've been traveling for quite a bit of time, and I'm finally back, thank God. Welcome, everybody. Hello, GOG types. What's up, goglites, gogglitings, gogglers, goggles? What's going on, everybody? I hope everyone is doing well. And welcome. This is episode 86 of Pen and Pixels. I am your host, Arvin Elleron. This is a show we do every Tuesday focused on story and narrative in games, starting at 4 p.m. Eastern. And I am happy to be on Eastern time again. I am finally back from my travels. I was away from home for about 3.5 weeks, which is kind of pushing it for me, honestly. Like, if it's up to me, I like to travel for about 2 weeks. Like, when I get longer than that, I start to get irritable and kind of like tired of not having my own stuff around me and things like that. So I am glad to be back at long last. The trip was fine, but I'm glad that we're back here. I am back home at home base, Eagle Studios, and here with all of you. Before we get started, just a quick reminder, if you haven't already done so, please consider following GOG so you can check out all of the wonderful streamers that you get on here. Please check out the channel and consider subscribing to it as well. That subscription money gets split among all of us and is always very much appreciated. Plus, you get your awesome DRM free emotes and all that kind of good stuff. And lastly, please remember to come check us out individually as well. I heard Outstar talking about suggesting that people go over to give her a follow. You should. Outstar is a good streamer. She's a lot of fun, as you guys know. And so you should definitely go over there and get her the 9,000 followers. And while you're at it, you should check us out too. I've actually recently hit 4,500 followers. I'm up at 4,519. And I am an affiliate now. So I've got sub on my, the ability to subscribe on my channel, which is really awesome and I'm excited about. So come check us out individually as well if you can, because there's so many great streamers that do lots of cool stuff, and you should check us out when we're not here on wonderful GOG. But I am here on GOG today, as always, and I'm going to be continuing with my playthrough of Torment after a really epic D&D session last week. And let me tell you, the folks from the D&D stream team, GOG stream team who've been playing D&D with me on this channel, Screaming Joypad and Pyron Jade and Darksaber, they have got some cool stuff planned for you guys. They've got some cool stuff that that I'm pretty excited about. So when we do our next session, which may be only a few weeks from now, a couple of weeks from now, you should definitely be here for that because it's going to be a lot of fun. Thank you, Christensen. I appreciate it. But tonight we continue with my Torment playthrough. I am happy to say that I was able to get the saves not only onto my travel thing, which I call Arvbox, but back from my travel thing over to here. So it was able to work. So I've got it on here. So we'll be able to start just where we left off, which will be awesome. Before I do that, though, let me get rid of this and let me turn on this. There we go. Hi, everyone. Good to see you all. I hope everyone's doing well. And yeah, and I hope you guys are looking forward to some Torment. Hopefully not Torment like, oh God, why do I have to watch this? But Torment the game as we continue our playthrough. So I am looking forward to that. And I don't think I have anything else to say about it except that we should get to it. So let's do it. Here we are. It is so nice. I was saying this on my own channel that it is so nice after having had my portable rig worked beautifully, just like it's supposed to work. But the thing about the portable rig is it's got one screen, one single screen, and it's really useful. It's a portable screen. It's really useful. I love it. But man, it is so nice to get back to multiple monitors again. I have 3 monitors here at my home base, as it were. So I've got OBS over on this side. I've got on the right side, I've got my chat. I've got you guys. I've got Chatty. I've got my audio stuff. I've got extra little material that I need down there. If I need to open up a web page for some reason, I do that on my left screen. And then I've got the monitor. I've got my main 23-inch monitor in front of me for the main game. So I am very pleased to be back at my home area where I have all my stuff where I need it. So that's really awesome. So, all right, let us get back to the game. And I think I just was getting out of this area. I have to admit that it's been a little while since I played it and I've been traveling. But look at that. No current progress, main quest in progress. That's what I like to see. They are all finished. I love it. Until I go into here, of course. That's right, I remember this. This is what happened because I wouldn't give in to the guy who was trying to the guy who was trying to take out the fallen one who was trying to take out my stuff. Your eyes snap open, and at first you feel you've fallen deeper into the labyrinth, another fathom. Flames rake the ground around you, the bedrock buckling under the heat. The image of Aldaris resolves as your vision adjusts to the searing light, and as you realize that your camera is slightly not accurate in the right spot. Let's see if that does it. Is that more centered, perhaps? Oh, thank you, Rommel. Yeah, I'm at the, I made the 500 milestone. I have 502 subscribers, Rommel. That's right, I was talking about that a couple weeks ago. Yeah, I'm on, I now have 502 subscribers, which is super exciting. I am pleased. I mean, you know, these milestones, in a way, it's like, well, they don't mean anything. I mean, they don't and they do, right? Like, it's just cool to think about the fact that is not something I would have considered as being something I might have the chance to have. So that's really kind of cool for me. But thank you. Her composure is beginning to crack. You can see the fear in her eyes, held in check only by her iron will. You're awake. Quickly now. While you were inside the mare, gods, the shields have fallen. The sorrow is breaking into the sanctuary. It's destroying our home. The others are trying to hold it back, but tell me first, did you find what you were looking for? Yes and no. Mazov says the resonance chamber will destroy us all if the changing god activates it. You mean the first was right all along? You must find a way to stop him. He must not be allowed to succeed. I knew he was the pinnacle of selfishness, but this? Now we must deal with the situation at hand. A few have already escaped, but most are trapped within the rubble and flames. Some are too terrified to move. You must get to the teleportation platform and flee. Save as many as you can on your way. Although the dome no longer encircles our sanctuary, the generators may hold enough power to slow the sorrow's progress. They can be activated by placing your palm here and whistling this tune. Good luck, brother. Let's make sure as many survive as possible. Okay, evacuate to the teleport pad. Extinguish fires with the shield generators. Remove rubble to clear a path. Save trapped cast-offs. Is that all? Oh, is there? Okay, I will check that out, Disculti. Man, there is a lot of stuff I gotta deal with, obviously. A few weaker rocks lie cracked below a larger group of boulders. If they can be removed, the rubble will collapse. Let's do it. A few of the rocks break free. The pile collapses and rolls out of your way.
Here we go, then.
Yeah, suppression field. That's what I'm talking about. Okay.
Of course we can help. Right, Al?
This is reminding me of, oh, there's a Maricaster. There it was. This is reminding me a lot of anyone who played Metroid Prime 2, where there's like the corruption area. These bubbles is reminding me of that a little bit. It's a shot. Miss. Okay. Oh, I need to, okay.
Done.
Let's break that down. Are you kidding me? 85%? What's up, Devslow? Ugh. Oh, okay. Gotta get all these generators controlled. Could you have really? You didn't want to kill the guy that was already there, really? Nice. What's up, Chloe? Hello, Takanjia. Hello, sir. How are you? Yeah, I mean, the thing is that I don't like the combat in this game. I like a lot about this game, but not the combat. But the truth is that the combat was not awesome in the original either, to be honest with you. At least I never felt it was. So I kind of was like, well, did it make a big difference either way? Probably not. you know? I can't hit this thing. That's unfortunate. Okay. Yeah, I was close. What's up, Talca? We can't beat them. We should run. Convinced to get a hold of himself. I don't have enough. Can't do anything about that right now, unfortunately. I seriously don't have enough to get there? Aw, man. That's lame. Alright, can I get to this dude?
Fine.
Okay. See if I can get her to help him. Right. I love that. Exactly. I agree with that. Hey, what's up, JLC? Welcome in. I've always liked turn-based combat myself quite a bit. I'm just not really an intimidator type. It worked though. Yes. All right. Just ask me what to do, and I'll do it. Save other cast-offs. Save cast-offs. Let's do it. But I think Baldur's Gate combat was... I like turn-based combat, but I did like the Baldur's Gate combat system. The Infinity Engine system in general, I think, worked pretty well. I understand that Torment never made combat the focus of the game, but that doesn't mean that the combat should be as much of an afterthought as it often feels, I think. So, hell yeah, you missed. Alright. Let's get here and hope that she can turn on that other thing. Oh.
You want it done right.
Can I destroy that? Oh, nice. Can I... I don't have enough. Damn it. I'll have to do it next turn. Welcome in, EA. What's up, Div? This is a GOG game. Yes, it is. This is indeed a GOG game. I mean, it's also on Steam and some other places, but it is indeed a GOG game. Indeed. I didn't even see the Sorrow Fragment there. Whoops. Okay. Let's get there and turn that on. Get there? Yes, I can. That was an effective turn. That was very effective. Okay. There are a lot of generators, individual generators around here. Nice, EA. No, it's not a puzzle game. No, this is an RPG. It's an RPG, Lala. So I hope you're enjoying every bit of it, EA. It's a holiday with the whole family, yeah? I assume? It's a holiday with everybody? So you and Pyron and the kids and everyone, or no? Okay, I'm trying to decide what I want to do. See, he's kind of in a... He's not in a great spot, for doing what I want to do. I guess I just want to keep him moving up. Well, go Go as far as you can then. Okay. Can't get to that yet. I have no chance of hitting that at all.
You bet.
Yeah. Nice, yeah.
All right.
Can I get
Ben.
there?
You can do
Can I get
this.
there? Can I get there? Ow. Nice. Okay.
Like a whisper.
Need you to smash this. Oh my god. Really? It's that weak? Oh, what? Wow. Okay.
I'm there.
Hurt. Pain. Ow. Ow. It's here. So this is our doom. All of our lives have been leading to this moment. We cannot escape that. Run if you like. I accept our fate. Oh, screw off, guy. I can't intimidate you right now, but I'll be able to soon. What? 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 What is going on? What the crap? What? So that's bad. I think that's really, really bad. Run, you fools! Pretty much. That is really, really awesome and really bad.
Yes.
Ow. Can I not? Can I not talk to you? Why can I not talk to you? Can't talk to you either?
Let's go.
Alright, you gotta take some pain. Oh, oh, hurt, pain.
Next.
Death.
Who's next?
You shall not pass. Pretty much. Pretty much. Okay, so what I want him to do is wander around killing sorrow fragments. I don't know what to do about this. I think that cast off may be lost. These guys, I need to get that thing up and running. I mean, Matt Kina's got to do some work. I just, ugh. Thanks, Allegern. Help the other cast off. Okay, I can't do anything yet. Can't seem to talk to them. I feel like a lot of these ones, it says I'm supposed to be talking to them, but I can't seem to do that much.
Sure.
Yeah, I'll bet she'll be able to move it with her incredible strength. This is gonna go well. Oh, I can clear the debris around the sparkling tube. Ah, that's actually better. I really don't want to screw this up either. Yeah, nice. That's actually better. I got a little lucky there. Several heavy stones in the pile. The exposed synth tubes flash as some of the heavier rocks fall into and disintegrate with a hiss. The remaining rubble rests precariously in a single round hunk of stone. Jesus, that is just very, very troubling. Oh my god! Okay, we need to get out. We need to get out now. Like, now. What? Now what the hell am I supposed to do? The hell do I do now? Hope is the folly of youth, but if I die here, all my life's work is for nothing. Might as well try, is that what you're saying? See if I could scratch out a few more years? Or at least make sure someone else can scratch out a few more of their own? Fine, let's go. Hope for the best. I mean, yeah, I don't even... I mean, we're completely screwed. I don't know what to do here.
You won't notice I'm gone.
Hope is not lost. The Ferritory. If there's any truth in the legends, then it's our only hope. But you'll need time to understand it. What's up, Keone? If one of us is brave, perhaps others can live to find a way to stop it. I am brave. I am brave. I will buy the time for you and the others, young one. Make the most of it. Oh, great. This is the vision from the tapering obelisk. Adiris is the woman you saw impaled by the sorrow. I saw a vision of you at the tapering obelisk. The sorrow will kill you here. If I could save even one other, I will consider my life a success. I have lived long enough. It is time to see if I have the strength of my convictions. A golden glow surrounds her as she steps forward, a kaleidoscope of beautiful colors, the shifting energies of the tides cast intangible being. She holds her hand aloft and ethereal fires play around it. The weight of the sorrow's baleful focus settles on her. Your vision shrinks to a pinpoint as the two face each other. This is not going to end well. Attend me, sorrow! Oh, God. Save who you can and run! Hey, Pyron. Please kill off this sorrow fragment. Ah, man. I know exactly, that tickled. Precisely. hell was that turn? Where are you going? Get out!
All right.
Let's go.
Man. This is going to hurt. It's going to hurt. Ow.
Another life.
Down we go. Alright, Can't level up in combat, alright. Maybe I'll get lucky?
You and me.
Because I need to, I don't know. Hello? Alright. Ugh. Oh my god, it worked. Oh my god. Okay, that makes up for the 85% I missed before. Wow. Lucky. I mean, it was just a waste of a turn otherwise. Oh god, the Sorrow's turn. Look at this, 800 hit points. Oh my god, it just destroys the generator field. Yeah, it's true, Hippo. Wow, this is very bad.
Like a whisper.
Oh shoot, that was where... Ah, I didn't see that. Damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Alright. Please take out this Sorrow Fragment. Thank you. Alright. I would recommend not running that way, Castoff. Really? Not a good idea. This is the way you want to run. Yeah, there you go. That's what I'm talking about.
On it.
Ow. I know. It hurts. Okay. I do have a lot of spray flesh.
Thank you.
I had to use that on me. Because I am getting exceedingly nervous about...
Got it.
Okay, please be able to move this out of the way. Aw, come on with the lack of actions! Alright, Ren.
I think that's best.
Okay, here we go. Even as the heat of the fire cracks and blisters skin, the air around the structure feels damp and pregnant. It pulses in a way it wasn't before, some kind of reaction to the Sorrow's presence. As it is approached, 3 bone-like candles curl out of the structure as if in greeting. That certainly didn't happen before. A telepathic whispering begins, a cold, cacophonous chittering that is clear despite the roaring flames all around. Something is alive inside this thing. Alright, let's do it. The lever rotates slowly across the face of the structure, lubricated by a mucus film. It locks into place and withdraws into the pyramid. The cacophonous chittering grows louder. 2 bones still protrude from the structure. Alright. You guys are going the right place. Just get toward the ferritory, because that's the only place that's going to take us out of here, if anything. Oh, crap. Crap. Oh! 8 million damage to Aldirus. Aldirus could not handle the 8 million damage.
I'm there, in the shadows.
Turn another lever. A few seconds of pushing ratchets the joint into place. It slides soundlessly into the pyramid. The psychic noise grows even more painful, more eager. Only one lever remains unturned. I can't.
Consider it done.
Okay, I need Allegern to get out of there. It's nice that you guys are doing this on Sorrow Fragments, but this is not going to get the job done. I mean, the cast-offs are... I mean, most of the cast-offs, except for the one that got annihilated back there, are okay. It's just Allegern is not in a good space.
On it.
I don't know what this is, but I like it.
The bones glide languidly into place, then disappear into the structure. A voice, or 1,000 voices, moan in your head, forming a connection with your mind. One side of the pyramid swings open, a swirl of trans-dimensional energy and biological fluids blossoming inside. A portal with something else waiting on the other side. You can only hope it's not worse than the sorrow that hunts you here. Amen to that. Alright. A powerful gravitic force yanks you and your companions into the structure away from the horrors of Male Avist. It wrenches the other surviving cast-offs inside as well, hurling them to other places beyond your reach, and you suddenly find yourself somewhere else. Well, we got out, people. Who knows where we ended up? Yeah, that's a good call, Descalte. I should do that instead of just running from one place. You are pulled through the ferritory, and the world goes dark. Great. Your sense of sight has suddenly failed. You try to move your limbs and find that you cannot. Oh, I'm sure this is fine. This is just how life is. You just, you know, you're alone, cut off from everyone else. You sense the terrifying presence of the sorrow as it surges through the portal behind you. Knowing you are trapped, it reaches out and is hurled back, shrieking in fury. Its cries vanish at once as if an impermeable wall has suddenly been raised between you. A terrible new sound fills your ears, a chittering, whispering cacophony. Something probes at the edges of your mind, something vast and incomprehensible. I'm gonna resist. And I have a lot of life. You breathe deeply, channeling your instinctive fear into cold fury. Then you focus that fury against the thing that is probing your mind. At once the chittering sound ceases and you sense the vast presence regarding you more carefully, perhaps even respectfully. Oh good. I've gained its respect. It will respect me before it consumes my brain. A new sound replaces the chittering. A bone-jarring hum like the buzzing of insects' wings the size of mountains. It grows stronger and louder. The sound becomes a dull ache that spreads throughout your body. The ache becomes pain, hot and searing. You grind your teeth, straining to concentrate to keep the intruder out of your mind. Then, without warning, it stops. You feel a sudden sense of recognition and perhaps surprise. The chittering fades and you slowly wake. What is this? What new treasure is here for me to find? Opening your bleary eyes, you see an earnest, gray-skinned non-human with a toothy smile. He is tall and wide across the shoulders and exudes great strength. His hands terminate in long claws. That tattoo. So another of the changing God's children has made his way here. It's been a long time. But where are my manners? My name is Dracogen, and you're in the bloom, though I dare say you didn't expect to arrive here quite like this. His voice is warm and welcoming, that there's something about his tone that suggests something more predatory. His cast-offs always find the most exciting curios for me. Do you have questions? Perhaps I can answer them for you. How did I get here? All I did was touch the ferritory. You don't remember? A pity. Must have been something to experience. If you'd come down from the Memovirus fortress or along one of the roadways, you'd know the path you took. The pathways of the bloom are strange, and not all its roads are pleasant. I felt others pulled into the ferritory with me. Where are they? Who knows? The bloom's motivations are inscrutable, and its tendrils pass through countless worlds and dimensions. If you were brought here by the bloom itself, then these others you speak of could literally be anywhere. What were those voices? The bloom is a living creature with a reach across dimensions. Its consciousness, if I may use that term, is unlike anything we know. So unless I miss my guess, what you heard were some of the many voices of the bloom. Tell me about yourself. I am Dracogen. I'm the man who can find what you need, even if you don't know you need it. I deal in information, and I pay those who work for me handsomely. Ask anyone here, and they'll tell you I trade fairly. You might also ask them what happens to those who try to cross me. But I don't think that a relationship starts best with threats. We should work from a common interest. Perhaps you can do something for me. What do you want from me? A business proposition, my friend. I wish to prove my value to you, and then you can provide value in return. I trade in information, favors, and Numenera, and so it happens I know about you and your kind. You're a cast-off of the changing god, an old acquaintance of mine. Indeed, I have known a number of your brethren. I even know about Mielavest, your secret refuge. So ask. Ask, and I will do what I can to provide an answer. Mielavest has been destroyed by the sorrow. I'm truly sorry to hear that. I never had the honor of a visit, though I longed to go. Such accumulated knowledge, so many artifacts lost. The value of the pieces would have been worth... Well, no matter. No matter. What's done is done. It's valuable information. I need to think on how best to leverage it. What do you know about cast-offs? I have met your sire. I know that he makes and discards you. I know that the sorrow pursues the changing god and destroys his cast-offs as a consequence. I know more, but my trade is information. We'll speak more of what I know better. I know you were hunted by what might be considered a natural enemy of the bloom. Most cast-offs prefer not to come to the bloom. It's a great predator, you know, and something about the psychic energies of your kind seems to have a great appeal to it. Perhaps some residue of your sire's life. Matkaina is an exception, of course, for she has had some extensive experience here. Milady, I've not seen your face in some time. Dracogen, I'm surprised you're still here. What did he give the Memovira that she allowed him to stay? The bloom brings me many things, and I find that no matter who rules, the flow of information in Numenera never changes. But let us continue. I'm here looking for the first cast-off. She's been dead for over a century. Have you tried her tomb? She's alive, and she's here in the bloom. Mazov told me. Mazov, how interesting. In any case, you seem to believe what you've said. I concede that common knowledge is not always correct, and I bow to your surety. I do not have your answer, but I know one who might. His information is intriguing, but I'm more interested in how he came across it. If you wanted to know anything about the bloom, you should speak to its ruler, the Memovira. Anyone can claim that title. Question is how well she holds it. Well enough so far. Tell me about the Memovira. A hard, ruthless woman. She holds control of the bloom because it favors her. She uses this advantage to dominate the trade routes and control access to the maws that lead to other worlds. But the maws are closing, and thus her funds are dwindling. I believe your friend here can tell you more about her. All right, where can I find the Memovira? Inside her fortress. But she's locked her gates to outsiders while she considers the problems that face her. Only those who can provide something of value to her get in now. Like me. I see. So what do you want in exchange for an introduction to the Memovira? I once had claim to an artifact, but it was spirited away to a place called the Ascension of Kexlianish. Just a quick note, of course it's called the Ascension of Kexlianish. You know, like that's what you find. If you're looking for something like, where do I find it? In the shed? No, you find it in the Ascension of Kexlianish. A realm of crystalline beauty. I need that artifact back. It's called the Magmatic Amulet, a circlet of dark hyaline material. It's of great interest to me. Great interest. I believe that you may be uniquely suited to retrieve it. Find it, bring it to me, and I guarantee you an audience with the Memovira. How do I get to this ascension? Follow the caravan road to the trade post. You'll find a maw there, and it will take you to the ascension. Or rather it did, but that's why I'm sending you, Cast-Off. Your kind always finds a way towards your sire's footsteps. What's a maw? A maw is one of the many mouths of the bloom, reaching its tendrils through the dimensions. Some enterprising individuals travel these tendrils, exploring new worlds, and bringing back strange and wondrous items for trade. There we go. What if I decline? You won't get into the Memovira's fortress, and most likely you'll be devoured by the bloom, with nothing left of you but memories of what could have been. Yeah, I was just making sure. Sometimes my chat freezes on, was freezing before I left for my trip, so I wanted to make sure that it was okay. And it is. It's good. It's fine. I am not still playing Fallout. I am definitely not still playing Fallout. Okay. Sorry, just fixing something. A+ for Arv, thank you. A stubborn one, this. But give him time. No doubt he'll come back. Ask around. You'll find that I trade fairly. You'll also find that I brook no deceit. Oh, but I have other business to attend to. If you wish to gain access to the Memovira, you'd best go. Oh, and if you happen to see our mutual friend Tibir, please let him know I'd like a word.
I'll remember that.
Remember, the Magmatic Amulet from the Ascension. Best of luck. Alright, Tibir's past is waiting for him in the predatory darkness of the bloom. Alright, well, the problem is I don't have him. We'll see. Dracogen's price. Okay, go to the trade post. Let's save it. Oh, I don't know if I have that. I do have that. I do have that. Speak of the devil. Buttons. Hold the orb to the light. Faintly visible. Mechanisms, perhaps. I wonder what would happen if I dueled myself. Okay, let's see. Calistige. Or Tibir. Okay, so that's good to know. The problem is I don't want any of these companions to leave yet, though, is the thing. The muscular orifice that first expelled you into the bloom quivers and clenches in agitation. Troubling. Oh, quite right. Yes, I do. Quite right. Okay, let me level some people up, and then let me try that Marecaster, and then I need to figure out what to do. I need to figure out where these companions go, just temporarily, so I can get Tibir back so I can do this quest.
Don't push me.
Alright, Allegern. No, I don't want that. Okay. That's easy. Oh, I'm not allowed to increase that at all. Alright. Cipher Adept. Conserve the next cipher used, allowing it to be used a second time. That's useful. Or +1 training level and concentration skill. Yeah, I like that. Alright, Resourceful. Additional ciphers. That's useful. Quantum Step. Teleport one ally to a point within range. That could be very useful. Or Mind Barrier. Oh, man, these are all useful. All useful. I love this idea of Quantum Step. That could be very useful. Oh, man. Mind Barrier. Oh, man. I don't know that I could even make the comparison, Kill. Because they're so different. I like Lunar a lot. I've been enjoying Lunar a lot. But this is so different. Like, I mean, the sort of polish and storytelling of this game has been better so far. But I like the gameplay probably a bit better of Lunar, I guess, if I had to compare them. It's tough, though. That's a tough comparison. I'm used to getting the comparisons about like this or Icewind Dale or this or Baldur's Gate or, you know. Okay. 1 intellect pool, 1 armor. This is a tough call. The thing is that in a crisis, like for example, it's like the old comment about everyone has to avoid always fighting the last war. If I had had Quantum Step, exactly, Kill, yeah. If I had had Quantum Step, that would have made the last encounter, the last crisis that I just had, a lot easier because I would have been able to teleport people around, which would have been really helpful. The problem is, though, now that I'm out of that, I think Mind Barrier is going to be more useful overall. So tough, though. Man. That's really rough. Okay. Okay. All right, let's save it. Now we're going to do the Marecaster. I think Rin has that. Yeah. Use it. Let's inspect it. You peer through the device into a void far larger than the thing in your hands could contain. From the far end, a shapeless mass reaches across the distance faster than a blink and obscures your view of it with an amorphous limb. Alright, let's do it. Marecaster time. Indigo waves rise in the wake of the huge marteling whale bearing down on Sagus Cliffs. Its flank blocks out the sun. I think I remember this one. This is one that they used with the promo. With the, with the original demo, the original version. This was actually in the introduction, I think. This was awesome. From high up on the beast's back, a lookout leans down. "Plague!" he cries in a voice that seems too faint even considering the distance. That's a good call, Descalti. That's a good call. I will do that after I take care of this mare. I'll do that. As long as, let me ask you, Descalti, I don't lose any of the things that are on the companion that I kick out when I kick them out, right? They just hold on to the stuff, and then I can get them back, right? I don't lose anything. Is that right? That answer, Kilobyte, is brutally difficult. I like... It's like asking me if I want to punch myself in the face or... cut myself with this rusty butter knife. Like I guess hide lied, sort of, kind of. Ugh. His warning is unnecessary. The yellow jack flag flapping from the mast can be seen all the way from the city. As the lookout stares directly at your dhow, he cocks his head quizzically and rubs his eyes, plainly confused to see no one in the boat. The light bender on your belt does its work well, while its charge lasts. After a moment, the man wanders off. Snug around your neck, a steel collar trembles and a voice whispers in your head. Hurry. Our seaward batteries can turn the whale to mist if they must, but better to save our fire for a darker day. After a moment, the collar buzzes again and the voice adds, Eliminating contagion is doctor's work, and no doctor would use a saw when a scalpel will do. Go now. Cut what you must and make sure that this sickness does not reach our city. Finally, the voice says, And don't worry. Your body can't fall prey to their disease. The collar goes still. The whale's leathery side looms above you like a living cliff. Somewhere up there are the men and women carrying death toward your home. Let's gather gear. The tools of your trade are housed in a locker beneath the thwart. Hooked climbing claws, your wind-slice blade, and a concussive crystal pulsing with explosive power. You quickly secure them. Claws on your hand, sword at your side, crystal on your belt. Remaining in the locker is a small waterproof ledger, which is better left there. There is also a harpoon of azure steel sunk deep in the whale's flesh and tied to the dhow by a sturdy cable. It would be hard to pull free, in any case would keep your boat tied to the beast. There you go, Kel. Well, probably, Christensen, but I don't know. If you punched yourself in the face hard enough, you might think differently. Let's read that ledger. Judging it too long to read in its entirety, you open to a page at random. In a meticulous hand, there is a date, and below it, 3 for the greater good. You flip to another page, and it is similarly no more than a date and a short entry. 1 for the greater good, 1 of necessity. As you skim, only the dates and numbers change. Any contemplation is cut short by a shudder from your collar and a sharp voice in your mind. Do not tarry. You sink the climbing claws into the whale's tough hide, and leaving a bloody trail behind you, quickly climb your way up. As you ascend, the steady lapping of waves fades and the wind grows, but there come no sounds of the living or dying village built upon the martling's back. Finally, you crest the whale's flank and pull yourself over the top. Silence like a miasma hangs over the empty driftwood shacks. Bits of bone, sheets of synth, crude abandoned tools. These are the only signs that people once thrived in this unusual home. The lookout has left no tracks, and in the moments you spend scanning the narrow, trash-strewn street, no one else emerges. Beyond this bleak emptiness, 2 things rise. Nearby, a kind of pavilion or howdah built atop the whale's head. Howdah! And in the distance, a huge stone stern castle at the whale's rear. A beam of light streams from the stern castle to the howdah, encasing the latter in an iridescent bubble. Some sort of shield by the look of it. There's nothing else of note. Search for any survivors. After a sharp turn, you slip into a square that is half smothered by the stench of what seems a heap of garbage. Without a shudder, you see it is in fact a mound of rounding bodies. Covered between the corpse and the pile in a rusting sheet metal shanty, a woman guards a few canned goods against a crowd of lean-faced men and women. Their gestures might seem mere speechless beseeching were it not for the woman's torn flesh and one man's bloody nails. She hoarsely warns them off, vowing to die fighting. And die she surely will, though these half-starved foes would pose no threat to a trained warrior like you. Though you are nearly close enough to touch them, the light bender hides you from sight. Let's kick the food and see the woman safe. The crowd falls upon them with wordless greed. For her part, the woman breaks and runs. To keep her safe, you're forced to give chase. Before you catch her, she slips around a corner and fades into a far larger mob gathered at the very gates of the stern castle. Most of these mute men and women are hammering against the gates with crude tools or just their fists. As you stare, new arrivals file in behind you, blindly cutting off retreat. The light bender's power peters out, and as you shimmer into view, a few members of the mob glance your way. You are in no immediate danger, but finding this many would be no mean feat. You've hit yourself hard in the face. It was disappointing. Okay, well, do me a favor, Christensen, and don't do the other idea of trying to cut yourself with a rusty butter knife. Please don't do that, okay, because that's not... Okay, let's climb the stern castle wall. I feel like calling out to the mob is not going to work in this scenario, and climbing up is a different matter. As the mob spots you ascending, they fall upon you with senseless desperation. Sharp-nailed hands clutch at your limbs, cudgels batter your body. But your climbing claws have a good grip, and your arms and legs are strong. Stronger than most anyone's, and stronger than those of these sick folk by a wide measure. Eventually you work your way out of their reach, safe if not unscathed. Above you shimmers the beam of energy fueling the howdah's distant force field. Below you, faces contort in voiceless rage. You give both sides... Well, what I'm saying is you already did one of them, Christensen, so now I can't stop you from doing that one, so... I'm just trying to keep you from doing both. You give both sights but the quickest glance before swinging your way through an open window. You land deftly in a great hall. The stern castle's defenders are a few dozen men and women armed with little more than spears and marlin spikes. One of them has a few healing ciphers. Another wears a richly dyed robe adorned with glittergar scales. No doubt she is their leader. The hall holds little else of interest save a large numenera that streams energy out through a window, feeding the force field at the whale's head. The defender's leader addresses you, her voice oddly accented. Whoa! Past the yellow wood, we stumble upon Elaronia, where Arvin has turned home from the road. Everlasting road took the toll on him as he wanted to get home before he was tormented, but he is tormented. Returning home only spat him back into the torment as he streams for the continuation. And I gave a listen to the yellow wood. It's a good song. Hello, Big Arv. Hey, X5, what's up? That's quite an epic introduction. Thank you as always, sir. The defender's leaders address you, her voice oddly accented. Welcome to Folk Haven, emissary, she says gently. I speak for the folk. We must dock in your city. We are in desperate need of healing, as you saw when you faced the unspeakables. We beg your aid in these dark days. Who are you? We are the folk, wayfarers and truth-tellers, survivors of a land that sank below the sea for our sins. We have plied the waves for 7 generations, kept above by the whale singer's skill, never growing beyond the bounds of this haven. Small enough for each to know all, for all to know their places, from speaker to gleaner, from watcher to teacher. Now we are few. Perhaps some sinned in the old selfish way and brought the gods' wrath upon us again, but we shall endure. Who are these unspeakables? 3 of our folk hauled in a net that held a foul catch, a thing partwise fish and partwise woman, but long and bald and clawed, big with child and clutching in its grip a thing that glowed, some sea cipher. So I have heard it said. They flung the foul thing back, but not before it seemed to touch their minds. Those 3 were the first to fall silent. The plague spread up Fisher's Lane, then through the cannery, stealing voices as it went. Bereft of their words, the sick are cut off from the bonds that hold us folk together. Lost and alone, they go mad and turn unspeakable, till the quiet death takes them. Why don't the unspeakables just communicate by writing? Haha, X5, that's funny. Oh, I understand. I understand, Christensen, yeah. Of course a stranger cannot know our ways or wisdom. A spoken lie lasts but a breath, and those who hear it can answer with the truth. But a written lie lingers long past the lives of those who know it to be false, enduring until it can lead an entire race astray. So spoke the first of the folk who survived the sinking, and we have lived since by their words, free from the perils of pen and ink. I want to help your people, but you must turn away from Sega's cliffs or the cannons will destroy the whale. You have spoken, and I have heard, but I again implore you in your far-famed city to aid us in our hour of need. The lives of the folk and the fate of the haven turn upon your word. I must think of both my city and your village. I will do what I can to help you, short of endangering my own people. I do not fault those who speak for your city. We have done the same here to safeguard the uninfected within these walls. But we cannot change course from here. The whale singer guides the whale from upon its head, and he must be shielded against plague. Were he to lose his voice, there would be no song to steer us. But there is a way. You see, a gift has come to us, a means by which the healer can concoct an inoculation against the quiet death. It comes at a price, one your city will make us pay. The gift, the only one to fall sick and silent, yet fend off madness. From the fluid in his spine, the healer will descant a guard against the death. Not a cure, and enough for at most 20 inoculations. From 20, the folk can grow again, as we did after the sinking. The gift will not refuse or cry out. He will endure his death in silence. We will lower the shield, and you will bring an inoculation to the whale singer. The whale will turn, and we will survive. There must be some other way to stop the disease. You will recognize, I trust, that I would not lightly speak of killing a child if there were some better way before us. What if the procedure fails? You'll have killed the only one of your people immune to the disease. We are not fools, stranger, and long have we pondered our few choices. Even if the gift survives, the folk shall die. for he cannot speak the word and keep our ways alive. And the healer knows his craft and his tools. He has said this will not fail, and I speak his words again with confidence. Oh, man. Ugh. No law, no decent person would permit such a crime against a child. I need healing first, no. Very well, the survival of your people is more important than the boy's life. There's another way. Kill the would-be child slayers, disable the shield-generating Numenera, destroy the Numenera with your concussive crystal. Alright, let's not destroy the Numenera. Disable the shield-generating Numenera. Means I have to kill them. I really wish I could answer one without being afraid that it's going to basically cut off that line of discussion. Like, I would normally, in my own, like, if I were here doing this, I would do one because I would want more information, but I'm worried that I'm going to do that, and they're going to be like, never mind, you don't understand, kill the intruder, or something like that. So right now I'm choosing between, I don't want to destroy the Numenera with a concussive crystal, that's overboard. I don't want to disable the shield generating Numenera because it's going to lead to the same problem, plus I have to kill these people. So that leads me, I'm not going to do 2, so I need 1 or 3. See, the issue for me is that this is one of those classic, you kill one to save the many, or whatever. The problem is that morality actually argues that you can't make that decision because it is immoral for you to have made the decision of a choice. Anything, of course, is a choice, even if you choose not to choose. But the idea is that you can't choose the many over the one in these moral questions from a purely moral point of view because you're still committing a moral evil. I'm going to say 1. The law is what I speak. The folk's will given voice. I say what must be said, though none may wish to help it. Hear it. The gift is one, and the folk are many, and that is the way of it. I carried this boy in my body and nursed him at my breast. This is her son? This is her son? You do not give his life more weight than I do, but you give the folk much less. Your canons have left us no other way. No, a pure absolute morality would say that in the case of the murderer who says, choose one of these people to die or all of them die, when you refuse to make a choice of one of them, you are performing the more moral action because the only one who's actually committing the wrong is the murderer. He is the one who is committing the moral wrong. From a practical point of view, though, assuming that you can trust the murderer in the first place, it is true that 9 people die, or, that would not have otherwise died, because you chose not to choose one of them, right? So the point is, from an absolute morality point of view, the answer is supposed to be, I refuse to choose one of these people, because then you are off the hook morally, because you're not the one actually doing it. See, the killer is trying to make you the fall guy here, right? They're trying to make you responsible, but it's the killer who is responsible, not you. But I'm going to choose 2, though. Man. She spoke the truth. When the boy is broken upon the surgeon's bench, when ciphers bore into his back, oh God, he makes not a noise. From his life, 23 will be saved, each with an amber promise swirling in a strong glass vial. The healer hands one to you along with a cipher that will inject it into the whale singer. The speaker gives you a flag, half yellow, half blue. Wave it when you reach the shield. We will open a way and the singer will know you for a friend. Hi, baby. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. With that, the folk speak a word of blessing and lead you to a tunnel, dug through whale flesh that will give you a clear start. Your path will not be easy. The village is overrun, but it is the only way. And so you go.
Sorry, I just have a question.
Sure.
What would you like to do for other food?
What are you guys thinking about?
We're fine with whatever, because I'm just getting sushi.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess tell mommy that I can either get, sushi, like California roll, with you, or I could
I
get...
already ordered.
Oh, you did already order? Okay. So then I guess, I'd like Indian. If she's getting Indian, that'd be lovely. Thank you, sweetheart.
Otherwise, if she isn't your friend or whatever.
Yeah, I guess so, although, I mean, I need to know if it's something like... Mommy knows what I like, you know? The collar around your neck hums and a voice warns. That's right, Div, from a practical point of view, right. Practically, you're still responsible. Morally, the argument goes you're not. And again, this is absolute morality. This is arguing in a vacuum, right? So, not like, oh, this is great that this happens, you know. The collar around your neck hums and a voice warns, make haste, the whale has entered the bay. You heed its command. As you weave through the narrow paths and alleys, faint sounds stir in the silence, the shuffle of footsteps, the huffing of heavy breaths. With a watchful eye and quiet tread, you advance, keeping out of sight as best you can. Soon they are before you, a gang of unspeakables, at least a dozen strong, making their starving, reaving way through the village and unknowingly barring your advance. Modest as their weapons may be, it would be folly to try and fight them. Sneak past them. The same hovels that make a maze of the folk haven provide endless cover for the adept. Slipping through doors, slinking through alleys, and leaping from roof to roof, you evade the unspeakables and make your way at last to the howdah. You reach the top of the whale's head and stand before the shimmering force field that shields the howdah. A wave of the blue and yellow flag brings it down. Within the pavilion stands a stocky man, barrel-chested and ruddy, the whale singer. He seems pleasantly surprised to see you. Behind him, wide-mouthed tubes rise up from the whale's hide, and past them is the flat expanse of the whale's brow. Not so far beyond are the cliffs, the cannons, and the city. The whale singer's voice booms when he speaks, his words accented like the speaker's. I do not know you, stranger, but you have braved the unspeakables and come bearing the speaker's blessing. I await your words. I'm going to give him the inoculation. You quickly explain what the healer has given you and hand the inoculation to the whale singer. He presses the needle through his skin, blending the serum with his blood. There is no change or wonderment worked by the injection. No esoteric lies behind this treatment, merely a child's life. All the same, the whale singer nods and thanks you. You have safeguarded my song and thus the haven. Must turn the whale before it's destroyed. With a gesture to the cannons bristling on the not-so-distant cliffs, you warn the singer of what will come if the whale is not turned. Trusting in the speaker's flag and the clear truth of your words, he gives a quick nod and turns to the tubes rising from the whale flesh. It is an uncanny song he sings, inhuman and at the same time heart-achingly intimate. At once, the whale begins to turn, heaving its huge bulk away from the city and back to the open seas. And then the song ends, and the whale singer takes a long swig from a flask chained to his belt. It is done. Seconds later, the collar around your neck flickers and a voice whispers to you alone, do not let it turn back. What? Why? No. How do you steer the whale? I'm just curious. The whale singer waves a hand at the trumpet-like bronze tubes rising from the creature's hide. When I sing, the salpinges bear my song into her very brain, stirring the nerves within as if my voice were her own. What I sing she must do. It is a duty and an honor to join the Great One's mind. I soothe her loneliness and hold her back when the males roar their lust through the seas. Thus have I and the many singers before me kept Folkhaven from sinking below the waves. Tell me more about the whale. Each whale singer teaches his craft to a song student who will in turn live to become singer himself. Though the student is gone, you are not of the folk and cannot take his place. Okay, I'm not killing him. Screw that. Turn to your dhow. You race down the whale's head and leap into your dhow. With a swift slash, you cut the harpoon loose. Moments later, the whale is already dwindling into the distance. Whatever fate awaits the folk and unspeakables, it will be resolved at sea, far from the city you were sent to protect. As you slip from its shadow, the indigo waves turn azure. Your collar trembles and the voice returns. You should have cut deeper. Then silence. The wind bears you back toward home. You do not bother to watch the vanishing whale with the dying village on its back, for ahead of you grows the great city of Sagus Cliffs, its buildings, then its people coming slowly into view. They are safe for now. That was really cool. I really like that in the prologue. That's really cool. That's really neat. I didn't get anything for that. I just get the story. That's really cool. Okay. Inside the gut of a massive Zerg. Well, so to speak. Alright, I'm going to use this. Oh, wait. Okay, Allegern. I think it's best we part, just for a minute. See you, Allegern. Yeah, you mean like mares? You talking about, Disculty? Join me, Tibber. Sure, lad. Let me find my trousers and I'll be right there. You return, and more quickly than I had anticipated. Do you have something for me, perhaps? Yeah, I agree. I think it's the best part of this game, actually, Disculty. You said you had something to say to Tibir. Here he is.
Making a note.
Old friend, let us resume our acquaintance, shall we? How is Avinia? Did you have a joyful reunion? I don't. How do you know? Alvinia and Dracogen? How? Oh, gods, the ring. Tibir, who's Alvinia? Former lover. Forget it. Come now, don't sell your epic short, Tibir. This was a love for the ages. Let me tell you, the two of them were inseparable. Inseparable! But somehow they parted, lost track of one another. Alvinia came to me a year ago, asking me about Tibir. He came to me, you see, because the two of them shared, let's call them mind link rings. Well, Tibir gave his ring to me for legal and moral considerations. Shortly afterward, he hoofed it for the city above. Foolishly, I turned the device off as I was examining it, and poor Avinia thought his lover dead. He came running, begging my help. Well, it seems that Avinia has broken his word to me. I turned it off on purpose. I was curious who would link themselves to him. Alvinia would never do that. He's a man of his word, and, well, you have to admit that you do have a fearsome reputation, and Alvinia wouldn't want to cross you. This does present a problem, then. Alvinia pledged a year of service to me in exchange for certain information, and, well, now he's vanished. I thought of using the paired mind-link ring you gave me as collateral in order to track him down, but then realized that anything could have befallen the poor man here in the bloom. And besides, who am I to stand between two long-lost lovers? Perhaps you might be more inclined to seek him out than I. So here, you can have your ring back. May it be useful to you. My apologies, but I simply had to make sure of Tibir and Avinia. I do look forward to hearing of the successful resolution of our arrangement. If he didn't run off, I wonder what happened to him, and whether anybody crossed me. Okay. Alright. Let's talk to you, Tibir. I knew. I knew he was here and that he was looking for me. I should have... Heartbeat. They work by skin contact, see. I'd know if he was... I couldn't have. I was too scared. Of what he'd think of me, yes, but also of myself. Dracogen had the right of it. Lavinia and I were closer than close. The world stomped on us, but we survived it together. Carried each other through wars and harder times. We were arms of the same body, but with different minds. Too different, as it turned out. I loved him. We have to find him. I have to find him. I don't understand. Can't you use those rings to sense his mind and see where he is? Right. You don't know what you're asking. Back in the good days, it'd be like holding hands, wrapping your fingers around theirs, right? But with their thoughts and feelings instead of flesh and bone. I'd need to concentrate for one, and two, I'm not welcome there anymore. He made that clear, and I don't know that I disagree. We'll find him. Thank you. I just want to talk to him. Set a few things right, if that's still possible. What happened between you and Ovinia, anyway? This isn't the time. It was mutual, all right? This time we're on, we wanted different things, and I wasn't willing to... Leave it. Let's just focus on finding him. Can't you tell me anything about what happened between you and Ovinia? Not important now, let's focus on finding him. Okay, where do you think Ovinia is? He's somewhere in Little Neelesh. The hell is Little Neelesh? Where? Little Neelesh is somewhere here? Okay, well, if I find him, I'll get Tibir back, but...
Gods, I hate this place. A man likes to see a nice blue sky over his head, possibly with several naked lads and lasses in the way, asking if I had a nice nap and would like a drink. Not intestines and the like. Hope you're not planning a long stay.
Say no, lad. Please say no. What's the matter? You don't like the smell? Sorry. I took a bite of food, and I didn't realize he had more lines. Bear with me. Or the view, or the food, or the people. Can't recommend any part of this place, and for someone of my generous nature, that's saying something. Okay. Time we part. Alright, if I find Ovinia, I'll get him back. But in the meantime, I want Allegern.
Who's going to stop us now?
Okay. Now let's make sure he's got all his stuff. Looks like he does. He's got his ciphers. Lovely. Okay, good. We are in good shape. So if I find Tibir's quest person, I'll summon him. That brown sphere is pretty useful, actually. Alright. Time to explore a little bit, folks. And by the way, since we are closing in on 5:30, this is a good time to remind everybody that I hope you guys are enjoying the stream. My name is Arvin Elleron. This is Pen and Pixels, a show which I do here every Tuesday on story and narrative in games. Obviously this one is a long one. Once we are done with Torment, the next game up on the docket is going to be Star Trek Judgment Rights, which is going to be a lot of fun. And then after that, I'm thinking about Temple of Elemental Evil, although I'm not sure. We'll see. But if you have liked what you've seen and heard, please make sure to follow the channel. Please sub to the channel if you can, and please check us out individually as well. I have my own channel where I do stuff like this, and would love to see any or all of you over there. I'm still going for another hour and a half or so, at which point I will give way to Chrono Wolf, my good friend Matt, who's going to be playing some Fallout 3 heavily modded. So make sure to check it out. Okay, this thing has been... What is going on over here? A woman barefoot in a rag stands defensively beside her tent. Despite her obvious poverty, she crosses her arms and holds her chin high. And what do you want? Another dangerous-looking one. Gods, is there no end to the predators in this place? Who are those people who ran off? They're called Delaney and Vrung. They've been squeezing money out of me for months. They actually don't look like they've run off, lady. Protection, they called it, though obviously they only mean from them. I wish I could do more than simply cave to their demands, but as you can see, I'm not exactly equipped to defend myself. It's all I can do to survive. How often do they steal from you? Too often. I barely have enough to feed myself, and then they take what's left. Usually more than what's left. Yeah, that's the hope. I tried playing a little bit of it, a very little. I don't know about the UI. I don't know about, I don't know. It's an experiment, but I'm not playing it next. I'm playing Star Trek Judgment Rights first, because I've been saying I'm going to play that game for 6 months. And I ended up getting sidetracked on a couple of long games, and I don't want another long game quite yet, so I'm going to go to Judgment Rights next, and then I might go to Temple of Elemental Evil after that. Why not call the guards? Guards? You mean the Memovirus thugs? All they do is guard our interest and extort money from the gangs. They don't keep order unless you can pay them. That's the way of the Bloom. Delny and Vrung can do as they like as far as anyone else is concerned. Maybe I can help. Where did they go? They crawl out of a hole somewhere deeper in the Bloom. Little Nihilish, I think it's called. I'm not the sort to wish violence upon anyone, even people like them, but I hope something happens to stop them. So naive, hoping for help. Still, no harm in pointing one potential thug to another. Tell me about yourself. I will try to do that, Dustculty, although I don't know. The GOG version... Does the GOG version have that built in already, Dustculty? My name is Kian, the Bloom's most pitiable storyteller and self-styled innkeeper. Though I admit that inn is far too fine a word for my little tent. Still, I can provide a meal, a bedroll, and at least a modicum of entertainment in the form of tales from my homeland. Before I came here, I was a noblewoman, believe it or not. A courtier from Sturthal. Feels like a previous life. I wonder if I'll ever find my way back. I suspect not. Even if I could leave the Bloom and learn the direction of the Steadfast, the journey itself would be lethal. How did you get here? You've seen the Katina, I assume. It's a kind of magical carriage capable of traveling great distances by skipping over the space in between. Governor Mara's ex-priest determined that it came through Sturthal on a very precise schedule. It would appear at one of a few locations near Sturthal every 73 hours. Oh, really? Okay. Okay, that's good to know. Well, among the nobles it became a sort of adventure. We would dare one another to board the Katina, or even hold parties at a location where it was scheduled to appear. It was exciting. I knew people who went on such journeys and came back with the most wonderful tales. They'd spend a couple of days meeting strange, fascinating people and visiting wild locales. Some, I'm fairly certain, were not even in the Ninth World. I had to see for myself. Isaac always had the most romantic tales. Clouds of crystal, Picala's shimmering fields, a dome of water in the desert. So about a year ago, my friends and I threw a Katina gala in anticipation of its arrival. We packed and dressed for adventure, and when the carriage arrived, we boarded immediately. Sadly, that was the Katina's final journey. It crashed here, tunneling through part of the Bloom. Most of the passengers were killed in the crash, and the rest in the months since. I am all that's left of that voyage. I only wished for a tale half as romantic as his were. Sadly, that will never be. You're a very strong person to have survived for so long. I never considered myself strong. If I was truly strong, I might have kept the others alive too. But thank you. Where's Sturthal? Hundreds of kilometers from here, from what I've learned. As I understand it, the Bloom is located in what we in Sturthal call the Beyond, or actually Beyond the Beyond, as I had never heard the kind of the Sage's Protectorate or any of the places people talk about here. Sturthal is one of the largest cities in the Steadfast. It perches on the edge of an enormous rift in the ground called Voile Chasm. Some streets and buildings even protrude from the cliffsides, not unlike your Sagas cliffs, as I understand it. It's a cultural jewel in an otherwise war-torn nation. Look at her closely. You notice immediately that her rags are actually made of a high-quality fabric. It appears that they were once a fine green dress or gown, though it is now filthy and torn. She catches you looking and straightens her posture, seeming almost regal for a moment. I'd like to sleep here. Of course, that'll be 65 shins each. Don't have enough money. Can I sleep here for free? We are both refugees, are we not? Trapped inside this God's forsaken thing. I can let you stay for free once, but no more. I'll bring you a meal shortly. It's not much, but it's food. May you sleep well tonight.
It doesn't hurt as much anymore. It still hurts, though.
I think there's a little bit of a bug here, because I'm pretty sure these guys are not meant to continually be kicking at her. Pretty sure that's not the case. I needed that healing, though. Okay. So, find the thugs who've been harassing Kian. I did. They're right here.
Whatever.
Ah. Now they ran off.
All right.
That whole time, they're just like, kick, 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 kick. That was kind of funny. Krakajin, Kraskatina. Slave auction. Alright, we're going to have to find out what's going on over there in a minute.
If you're sure it's safe.
As long as those thieves keep after Kian, they're not coming after me. Nice. The bloom gives, the bloom takes, the bloom feeds. It feeds me and it feeds on me, but the Katina is warm to the touch.
Or is it the other way?
This massive vehicle appears to have been crashed through the nearby wall. Bloom flesh has resealed the hole and is beginning to grow across the vehicle's surface. You recognize the vehicle as a Katina, a hyperdimensional transport from a prior world. This bloom thing is weird. Alright, time to go break down a slave auction.
All right.
Decanted. What seizes your eye first about this humanoid automaton is not the cunning construction of its slender limbs or the gleaming white armor that covers its chassis. It is instead the frozen human head that peers out from a frost-covered dome in the construct's chest. My god, it's like a nightmarish Dr. Freeze. The head examines you carefully from head to toe. You feel a subtle warmth as scanners inside the machine assess you. The automaton's gaze shifts to Rin and remains on her for a long, long moment, then returns to you. The voice that squawks through a grill mounted atop the construct's head is flat and expressionless. Greetings. We are called the Decanted. We are here representing buyers from our society. Our clients greatly value beauty and physical fitness. Apologies. Maintenance for this vessel has not been optimal in recent times. Rectification to be undertaken soon. To summarize, we seek beautiful creatures to honor them. Something's wrong here. For instance, if you look into the slave pit nearby, you see one specimen that stands out from the rest. The young man there. Do you see the interplay of muscles in its body? It is strong but not overbuilt. The biceps are pleasantly rounded, as are the pectorals. The body has little fat and appears to be in good condition. This is popular among our clients. These are some examples of the traits we seek.
I'll remember that.
Brrrt! Apologies. We are here that we might take these subjects to the Optero suite. We offer a life of luxury, privilege, and pleasure for everybody. Accepts. We offer great rewards. We require 3 individuals with aesthetically pleasing bodies. Perhaps we can be of mutual assistance. The young man in the pit is a slave, isn't he? Why don't you buy him yourself? The auctioneer refuses our coins. He will not sell to us.
I'll remember that.
Why do you keep looking at Rin? Strong muscle tone, athletic build, great potential to become a suitable recruit. If allowed to take her, we will ensure that she grows to be a healthy, physically active woman in superb condition. I am not going to sell Rin into slavery, sorry. Tell me about yourself. We do not have a personal appellation you would understand. Your people commonly refer to ours as decanted. We achieve long life through these forms you see, our heads separated and preserved. We need not retain our original forms to preserve the knowledge we carry. We can shed these bodies but live on. This one has lived hundreds of years, though its original body is long since dust. That sounds oddly familiar. I have to say that I prefer our sire's method, though both should be swallowed by the bloom, in my opinion. Face too thin, eyes darkened artificially. No matter, not within aesthetic standards. Skin mutable, unacceptable. We admire beauty in all its forms and seek to preserve it. We do this as a service to ourselves and as our duty to the world so that future generations can learn to appreciate beauty as we do. Yeah, beauty by owning slaves. Jump in a lake, bastard. What's up, exile? What's happening outside in the city? Who runs the council now? was a great man in Sagus once, but that's gone now. All
One
gone.
moment, and it's done.
You, can't you hear it? On another level, all sound is vibration, all energy vibrating against itself. I don't want to deal with that Memavira thug yet. Oh, you're right. Panel has fallen away from the side of the crashed Katina and exposing. Every time it says that, I keep thinking Cantina, and I keep expecting to walk up to it and be like, bum, 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 ba, da, ba, da, ba, ba, da, ba, da, ba, da, ba, da, ba. Most of the machinery in the compartment is smashed and unrecognizable, hanging by wires and strips of torn synth. In the open spaces between the machines, tiny vortices of light and energy occasionally spring into being, obliterate everything they happen to touch, and then vanish again. You recognize the vortices as minuscule singularities in space-time. Their presence suggests that this Katina is powered by a trans-dimensional power source, which might be accessible from its aft section. As your eyes grow accustomed to the weird, blurry haze, you notice a synth canister near the back of the compartment. It appears to be intact. If you stretch out your arm, you might be able to reach it, but if a vortex opens at the wrong time, you could be seriously hurt. If the interior of the Katina is anything like a mechanical engine, you'd guess that the canister is some kind of coolant. No, 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 no! God damn it.
Ready?
Okay, good. I accidentally did that. Shoot. Well, I didn't see that, but whatever. You reach into the compartment, fingers scrabbling at the smooth synth of the canister, trying to work it loose. A tiny vortex flares to life near your arm, but you snatch it away and the vortex misses you by a few centimeters. With a final twist, you pull the canisters free. The canister is icy cool to the touch. On one end, you find a release valve. If you open it all the way, the coolant could be sprayed out, freezing anything it touches. Chemical damage and confers stunned. Okay. Okay. Is that a one-time use item? I haven't used ciphers enough to be able to tell whether these things are one-use items sometimes. Also, now we're going to go deal with that slave auction.
Fine.
Let's talk, Parson Flint. The fat little man turns towards you, a wild smile already on his face. Indeed, his smile is unnaturally wide, reaching almost to his ears. You notice that his mouth contains 2 rows of white, well-manicured teeth. You catch me in the midst of an auction, sir, but no need to beg pardon. My clients will wait. I find that a short delay in the proceedings gets them talking amongst themselves and sparks their competitive nature. Good for prices. Parson Flint is my name, and the disbursement of so-called slaves to so-called owners for the betterment of both parties is my trade. What sort of slave are you looking for? Why would I want a slave? To feed maws, of course. Unless you're planning to let them feed on you, but I wouldn't advise that. Fresh to the bloom, this one. He's not a licensed buyer for sure, then. Naturally, it helps to know what a maw wants before you go buying a slave. Not much point in buying a slave who isn't appetizing to the maw in question. You'd be surprised how many people make that mistake. Still, you never know. Maybe he would be interested in the boy. What's up, Tobik? You have to buy one. Buy all of them if you can. Ah, what a darling child you have there, and smart, too. Are you looking forward to feeding your slaves to a maw, my dear? Yeah, I actually saw that ability before, Descalte. Not for a maw. We have to set them free. Maybe you'd better explain how slavery works around here. Certainly. These slaves are convicts of the foulest sort. They are the very dregs of Sagus Cliffs and her surrounding communities. In order to pay their debt to society, many choose bloom slavery instead of prison or execution. These individuals are given to me, and I sell them to the enterprising merchants who ply the bloom. A magnanimous arrangement. To think that execution is the only option in some lands. Usually my clients come to me with specific requirements. Every maw has its own unique tastes, you see, and it won't open unless it gets precisely what it wants. So I offer an appropriate slave, and they feed that slave to the maw, and everyone is happy. The slaves volunteer to be eaten? They're desperate people, and being fed to the bloom is not a death sentence. Well, not always. Sometimes the bloom only devours certain aspects of a person, and they're entirely changed for the better. Or it takes a small, trivial part of them, an eye or half a stomach, or their ability to feel love, and spits them out into another world where they can start their lives anew. Once a maw frees on a slave, that slave is free. That's the law, mind you. Unless the Murdens get hold of you. They don't give a bird's turd about such things. I still can't believe that a slave would volunteer to be eaten. Look at it from their point of view. They're choosing between life in the dungeons, or worse, execution, and a chance at redemption. Oh, I know it's a roll of the proverbial dice, but a maw won't always kill you. So these slaves are all criminals? Of varying sorts, yes. The more vicious, the better. At least as far as my clients are concerned. The bloom has a taste for the criminal element. Dangerous, predatory sorts of people draw its attention, sometimes for better, sometimes for worse. What is a maw, anyway? Maws are the mouths of the bloom, my friend. Sometimes they lead to other worlds, or to hidden pockets elsewhere in the bloom. One never knows, but that's part of the fun, you see. How do you know what a maw wants? Ah, but that is the question. Sometimes you can puzzle it out on your own by watching the maw, observing the behavior of its tongues. A disgusting business altogether. Better to ask someone who's been here for a long time. They're barking mad, most of them, but they have an uncanny sense of the bloom's desires. Some of them claim to hear the voice of the bloom in their minds. Hearing the voice of the bloom, ha! That's when you know you're in trouble. Dracogen told me the maws have been closing. Yes, they are. Closing, disappearing, changing destinations, and behaving badly all around. That sort of thing is better to say in a low voice, preferably far away from the Memovir's lugs, or they might get the idea that you're blaming her for the problem. Dracogen, what does this young man have to do with that chiseler? And she is supposed to have some sort of influence over this giant sack of angry flesh, so who knows, maybe it is her fault. But I would never say such a thing. Some other questions. Deed, ask them. I spoke to a construct near the slave pit. It says you refuse to do business with it. Eh? What construct? That is no mere construct, I assure you. It was once a creature of flesh and blood like you and me, and it will be again if it fills its quota. I presume you saw the withered head in the middle of its chest? Well, they say that those creatures are always on the prowl for young men and women of unusual beauty. When they acquire such people, they spirit them away, slice off their heads, and replace them with their own. A ghoulish practice, but it allows them to live as humans for a time. That is not the sort of business we do here. What are you exactly, an auctioneer? Indeed not, sir. I am a public servant. My work is indispensable to the fair city of Sagus Cliffs. I help these unfortunate wretches pay their debts to society, as it were. So, basically you're an auctioneer? As I said, I am a public servant, sir. If not for my work, the criminal element of Sagus Cliffs would have no choice but to rot in prison or die by the axe, as in the days of our uncivilized ancestors. Yeah, exactly, Tobik. I'd like to buy a slave. So you're a registered merchant, are you? Got all the proper documents, signed and stamped in all the right places? No, but I'm sure you've heard my name. I have plenty of friends in Sagus Cliffs. Despite my worldly demeanor, I know little of what goes on outside the bloom. You seem a respectable sort, I will admit, but official business requires the proper documentation. Of course he's not a licensed buyer. On the other hand, perhaps we can make a deal, beneath the purview of the relevant authorities, as it were. As Mum used to say, with disappointment comes great opportunity. Go on. One of my slaves is not attracting any buyers. He's a young fellow, fresh from the streets of Sagus, but I fear he's only a thief, not a murderer or a sadist at all. You can imagine how that's gone over with my clients. Since I cannot sell him in a legitimate manner, I am forced to go under the proverbial table. You may have him for a mere, 400 shins. No returns, refunds, or restitution. I can't imagine what Ma would even want the boy. Can I see the man first? Certainly, he's just over there. Do you know how he ended up here? Let's see here. Third time arrested for thievery, minimal resistance to arresting levy. Curious. Non-violent offenders aren't usually considered for Bloom slavery, but he volunteered anyway. Some of them do, you know, if they're running from something. Or if they're barking mad. What about the other slaves? Not for sale. Not under any circumstances, I'm afraid. I am willing to bend the rules in the case of this one slave only. The Memovira will feed me to a maw if I start selling all the slaves to unregistered clients. And I mean that quite literally. I don't have enough shins. A pity! But I shall be happy to resume our discussion if you manage to claw your way out of penury. Man. Alright. So I need to get some money to buy that slave. Ah, thank you. Yeah, it went well. The trip was fine. It was just more me being like, oh man, you know, I'm all done at this point. Right. Why did the child wail? Perhaps it was wrong. Ah. I've seen you before, haven't I? The hall was dark and the plasma gleamed. Together we posed questions. I'm looking for someone, a fellow cast-off of the Changing God. You yourself must find. Do you know anything about the Bloom? Oh, I was traveling, Tobik. I was away from home. I was in Seattle for about 3 weeks, and then I was in Boston for about 3-4 days. So I was away from home for about 3.5 weeks. So that's why. A socket, a doorknob, a crumbling cliff. These are not your face. Each that is itself. The mirror does not look back. The Bloom cannot teach, but it leaves scraps. One gathers. What are you trying to find? The question. Is there something I can do to help you? I said, can I help you? What are you? A mudlark on the bank of the river Time. Tell me more about the Bloom. No. Alright. Oh god. Yeah, it's interesting place, Seattle. I like Seattle though, quite a bit. Probably can't speak to these guys, can I? No, I don't think so. This may be the intro. This may be the, yeah, Memovira's Fortress, I thought so. I'll deal with that later. Family needs me, but the guards won't let me through the gate. I need to get home.
All right.
You, this is me. My place. Scrounge your own hole. Oh, don't touch me. Just leave me be. Leave me alone. Several crude shanties are wedged into a corner fashioned from scraps of wood, cloth, and metal. Whoever built them was apparently not concerned with safety. Just keep your head down. If the Memovira's guards are worried, that means trouble's coming for the rest of us. Nobody's seen the Memovira in weeks, but she's lying in that tower of hers, cold and dead. Watch your step. I don't mean that as a threat. The Bloom's acting strange and no one knows why. What are all these things? Oh my god, what? It's all this crazy stuff. Right, let's talk to this guy first. A metal construct stands before you, silent and still. Its armor is pitted and ancient, spiked with metal thorns. Okay, Disculti, I will. Instead of arms, the construct has long killing blades sharpened to a gleaming edge. What are you doing? I wouldn't talk to this monster. I've seen it kill some powerful people. And some powerful not people, too. I don't like the way it looks at me, either. You sense a mind inside the machine. Okay. Who are you? Reminds me a little bit of TikTok. If anyone has been following the Infinity Beyond crew, TikTok is on my channel. TikTok is the Warforged construct that Screaming Joypad, our good friend Screaming Joypad from GOG, he has been playing it. Reminds me a little bit of that, although he's not this aggressive. Okay, here we go. So hollow, huh? Let's give me a voice for this guy. I am a soldier, a predator. My names are as numerous as the wars in which I have fought. But those wars are finished now, and I have left my names behind. I remember some of them. Some, I remember all my names. Exonarch Series 14, Genshero Mark 10. When I was bodyguard to Vostule Lo, he called me his barber of flesh, and made of me a boogeyman, feared and hated in every nation he conquered. Who created you? I do not know, nor have I ever known. They culled all record of themselves from our minds. I only remember those for whom I fought, and there have been many such masters over many long millennia of service. For a time, I believe, my siblings and I slept. I do not know how long. Then we were awakened by new masters, the Tabat. We fought for them until they were no more. You fought for the Tabat? What do you remember about them? Much. They ruled this land as warlords before the building of Sagus Cliffs. They were slaves to an edifice known as the Underspine, yet they were its masters as well. I do not know where they came from, or who they were before they rose to power, for those things happened before they awakened me. I remember this too. They held single combat as the highest virtue, revealing the quality of one's soul. They believed that we had powerful souls, my siblings and I, for none of them could defeat us alone. They fought on two-legged beasts, brandishing weapons of another age, unearthed from great hoards beneath the ground. That is also where they found me, and my siblings. They awakened us, spoke the proper words, so we killed on their command. What happened to the Tabat? A vast explosion buried the Underspine, and their city, and most of my siblings as well. The remaining Tabat were hunted and slain by those they had ruled and enslaved, and I was left alone, save for a few of my kind. Some other questions? What are you doing here? Waiting. For those who are strong and feared, for the predators who walk the bloom. They come here at times to challenge me. If I prove myself to be a predator among all others, I believe that the bloom tongues will catch my scent. I wish to be devoured by the bloom. Have you not seen those who have passed through the gullet of the bloom? Every trace of who they were has been stripped from them. They are freed from the trapping of memory and self. Reborn. Killing powerful predators makes you more appetizing to the bloom? So I believe. I have observed the patterns of its hunger over many feeding cycles. Always it is those who prey on others who draw the attention of the bloom tongues. The greater the predator, the more powerful their victims, the more the bloom desires them. And I have killed many, so many. I have torn men and beasts asunder, left their bones and entrails to putrefy as an offering to the bloom tongues, and still it will not devour me. Why does it wait? I cannot know. Why do you crave rebirth? Excuse me. How many years have you lived? Only a few, judging by the firmness of your flesh. In that time, what horrors have you witnessed or perpetrated? Do they slip into your mind in unguarded moments? Perhaps they do. Whatever horrors you have seen, multiply them by 1,000, 100,000, across a vast, grinding millennium of wars. Now imagine that you cannot forget, cannot even distract yourself with other memories. Do you know what I remember? Only those things that would make me a better killer. Every severed limb, every gout of heart's blood, every cruel execution before a cheering crowd. All else is lost, for that is how my creators fashioned my brain. That is why I crave rebirth and forgetfulness. You claim to be troubled by the violent things you've seen and done, but you're a killing machine. Why should those things bother you? I have pondered that question for all the years since I awoke in your world, and also during the long aeons of my sleep. For centuries I felt no such revulsion at the memories of my past. But over time, the horror grew in my mind, and in the minds of all my brethren. I have come to believe that our creators intended this. Perhaps they understood the terrors we could visit upon the world, and this was their way of ensuring that we would not endure forever. If our foes did not destroy us, then we would be driven to destroy ourselves. I haven't met anyone who's been eaten by the bloom and lived. Walk the innards of this city monster for long enough and you will meet them. Even now I can taste the trans-dimensional footfalls of one such man. You may find him in the vast interior space beyond the arterial opening there. Once he possessed a name that was well known in this place before it was stolen by another. Now he walks alone, forgotten, and without fear. What are all these bones and armor on the ground? Detritus of beasts and men. It is all that remains of those who sought to best me. What do you know about Trachogen? He is a predator of sorts, but subtler than most. I have observed him as one hunter watches another from afar, but I cannot fathom what he truly wants. What he seems is not all that he is. Do you mean that Trachogen isn't all that he seems? No. The words I spoke were exactly what I meant. Why don't you challenge Trachogen to combat? No. Even I would not dare. I feel like I want to challenge this thing to combat, even though I'm going to get utterly destroyed, so I'm going to try fighting it. So I've just saved it. I'm going to try fighting it. It's going to crush me, but it's okay. Why would you ask this? To test myself, isn't that enough? Ah. Such motives are known to me as they were to all my sibling comrades. No. Minds were made to crave a challenge, to test ourselves, as you say. Warfare is ever fluid, ever shifting, and a soldier must likewise flow and shift to follow its course. No, I will not fight you. In the eyes of the bloom, you are no great predator. No purpose would be served by your death. Leave me to my watch and do not challenge me again. Fight me or die! A pointless gesture, and now your dying scream will haunt my memory with all the rest. I'm probably going to get destroyed here, but I just wanted to try it out. I was kind of hoping I could take it with me. $200.
Missed.
85% chance, and I missed. Sure, bro. Sure.
I don't know what this is, but
Yep, probably.
Feels like everything's going to be all right.
No, I didn't use Cypher Adept.
That's the stuff.
Okay. No.
You will suffer. I can barely scratch this thing.
Yeah, probably. I should have thought about that.
Into the shadows.
Blinded and stunned. Okay. I was worried that she wasn't going to get it off, but probably not the smartest idea, admittedly.
Yes.
I feel like I can take on the
Waits for
world.
prey.
This isn't doing very much. Doing begets learning, I guess.
Here we go then.
Okay. That did a lot of damage.
A taste of death for you. I can barely scratch this thing.
Still stunned. Hello, Andrea saying. Hey, what's up, Grows?
What is that? That feels great.
Okay. Probably won't be able to hide, but that's
What's
okay.
wrong? Why didn't that work?
Not a big deal.
They never seem to run out. Yes.
Okay. Immune to flank, huh? Alright,
I will gut you.
wow. Critical hit.
You will
Okay.
suffer.
I like that.
I can barely scratch this thing.
Okay, I think his stun is almost run out. So...
I can breathe again.
Alright, 49 points.
This isn't doing very much. If you're sure it's safe.
Let's run out of there. $24 points left. 4 points left. Four points left.
You will suffer. I can barely scratch this thing. They call me the White.
Down he goes.
Reason.
Boom.
Fine.
Waits for Prey's head and quantum detonation. He was fine. He wasn't that hard. He was no problem. Wow. I actually sort of was hoping that he would become my ally, is what I was kind of hoping for. Waits for Prey's head. I mean, I was kind of hoping, I don't know, like that. That worked out pretty well. Okay, there's a stim. I need to find out where did the thing that I just picked up go? Not his head, but where's the freaking... There we go. Quantum detonation. 28 transdimensional damage. Conveys hobble to all characters in range of the target point. Man. I want her to use that. Okay. Because I want her to use that ability that I didn't use the last time.
Fine.
That feels a little anticlimactic to me, though. I don't know if I should... I feel like... I don't feel really happy with that ending, though. It feels anticlimactic to me. Like, just... Okay, and then he's dead. And so... I defeated the construct, and I, like... I mean... I don't know whether that gives me any benefit, you know? Like, what good does that do for me? Did it end? What do you mean? Well, I mean, I could. I thought it was just going to destroy me, but instead I killed it. Without that much difficulty, actually. And so, I'm kind of not sure... I don't know whether there's more that I could have gotten out of that guy. Like, could I have gotten him to be a follower? Could I have, like... I don't even know if I did a good thing. Like, I don't know if I did a good deed here with that guy, you know? It is a quest item, yeah. And I had it quick saved, so I guess... Let me save it under,
Alright, here I go.
I don't know. That was weird. Yeah, apparently, Tobik. A large and agitated beast looms over you. It is an Anin, a beast of burden. I'll never be a beast of burden. These creatures are normally docile, but this one bares its teeth and snaps at you as you draw near. It rakes the air with its stubby claws. Examine it. Staying just out of biting range, you can see blood around the Anin's mouth. Looks like it has been bleeding or possibly feeding on something. Try to pull your head back. Yeah, I guess we'll see how it unfolds. Yeah, exactly, Disculty. Well, I actually rehearsed with my band when I was up in Boston. And album is moving ahead, so that's good. We have a show that we're playing in September, actually, up in Somerville, Mass., so that's cool. And on the book, yes, I am working on outlining the third book in my trilogy, the Grey Assassin trilogy. That should be done by the end of the weekend if all goes well. And then starting next week, I'm actually going to start a regular pattern of writing 10 pages a week, basically from here through the end of the year to get it done. So that's what I'm going to be doing. Yeah, and the rest of the time is going to be, I do have some other things. I've got some, a couple of conferences over the next couple of months. I've got Gen Con, which is my biggest one, coming up next month. I've got another one called CanCon in Ottawa that's coming up in September. The Gen Con one, I'm going to be doing a lot of stuff for the Writers Symposium, which I've been doing for many years. I've got some things that I have a couple of book proposals that I have to write up because I have editor meetings there. And I'm also going to be making up my adventure that I'm running a bunch of authors through, which is going to be pretty awesome. I'm excited about that. That's there's an audience for that that's already sold out, a live audience, which is pretty sweet. So yeah, I'm doing that, and so that's what's happening. Yeah, and I don't think Torment supports cloud saves, although honestly I don't have GOG Galaxy anyway. So I just transferred the saves over from one folder to the next, and it worked out fine. Hey, what's up, Lovelust? You'll be going live after me. Oh, okay. So did Chrono have to reschedule or something, Lovelust? Which is fine. That I'm going to be getting out of here in about 50 minutes or so. Actually, less than that. 40 minutes or so, actually. So... You jerk your hand back, the Anin's jaws snapshots scan inches from your fingertips.
Yes. Now.
Ah, okay. Pool is filled with yellowish water that falls from above. Surrounding bloom flesh is wet with hand and footprints, suggesting this is a common place for bloom dwellers to wash and drink. Let's look into the pool. Pool extends downward like the circular shaft of a well, but as a bottom you can't see it from here. In the depths of the pool, your sharp eyes... It's posted announcements. Okay. Of a long worm-like shape, appears to be caught in a projection of bloom flesh wriggling helplessly about. Let's get it. Let's try to get this object. Oh, I only have a 50% chance, really? The best chance I have is 50%. Oh, crap. Struggle to undo it, forced to return. Oh, come on. Come on, you can do it. Yes. You dive into the pool. This time you work it free from the knot of bloom flesh and you swim for the surface. In the light of the courtyard, you see the wriggling object is some sort of bloated worm, its skin continually shifting from one material to another. Silvery metal to pliable synth, to leathery scales to other materials you can't identify. It seems to be drawn to your exposed flesh, would likely fasten itself to your arm or leg if you're allowed to do so. Confers protected, active entire crisis. A warding worm. Okay, cool. Oh, what's up, Sharian? I've heard of Beholder, actually, but I know very little of it. Let me collect some of the fluid. Whispering voices of the bloom. Okay, yeah, let's use that when we have to, and not before. Also, I'm gonna give this, I think, to Metkina. Okay. Wagon is laden with basic supplies from outside the bloom. I really hope that this person is a merchant. Nice. Nice. Pale, heavy-set merchant woman stands by an agitated Anine. Her eyes seem to have trouble focusing on you, and when they do, she drops them, her hands nervously adjusting the scarf around her neck. Need help. Can't think. I must... I'm Skady. You here to trade? Why are you wearing that heavy scarf? That's none of your business. Leave it be or just leave. Slouches a butt. He's been feeding on her. You have a little something on your scarf, right there under your chin. This is where I'm at. I do? Where? Yep, jagged, still bleeding teeth marks. Dirty trickster. Go try your games on someone else. Please, just leave us alone. Skady glances at her Anine, eyes wide like a child with a guilty conscience. You recall the Anine's bloody mouth and odd behavior. And it occurs to you that its teeth match the size and pattern of the bite marks on her neck. But Anine are herbivores, and as far as you know, they can't digest meat or blood. It's like Little Shop of Horrors, but with an Anine. She wrenches her eyes away from her Anine, closes them tightly, and begins to shake her head rapidly back and forth, muttering incoherently. Her whispers sound more like buzzing and hissing than words. I can help. Just tell me what's happening to you. My Anine, it feeds on me. Suckles the blood from my neck. For some reason I can't... No, I don't want to make it stop. But that's a lie. I do want it to stop. I think the bloom did this. To my Anine and to me. Tied us together somehow. It's in our heads. I can hear it whispering to me. Fight the bloom, Skady. Concentrate on the whispers and drown them out. Push them from your mind. You can see the woman struggle. Her whole body shakes. You faintly hear a whispering cacophony of sound, chittering and buzzing, lashing out in rage as it fights back. Then it falls silent. The merchant's eyes soften and focus. She shakes her head as if clearing it. I did it. The voices are gone. The Anine also shakes its head, snorts, and settles back on its haunches. Thank you. I don't know what was wrong with me. The bloom got in my head. And change my Anine, too. But I think she's back to her old self now. You come back any time you like. I'll give you a discount. It's the least I can do. Hell yeah, it's the least you can do. Hello again, my friend. What can I do for you? Can you tell me about the bloom? I travel through here a lot, but maybe not after this. Too dangerous, no matter what the Memovirus guards say about her keeping it safe. Good chance for profit, though. Bloomfolk need outside goods, and you can find unique things here. Things from other places. Still, once bitten, twice shy, if you know what I mean. I'm gone as soon as I sell the last of my stock. What do you know about the Memovira? They say she runs this place from that fortress over there. I've never seen her, though, just her thugs. It's almost like she doesn't dare come out. Tell me anything else about the Memovira? No. And even I knew something. Should be if I knew something. It's not safe to say. How did the bloom get in your head? In your head. I don't know. The bloom does strange things to you if you stay here long enough. My Anine and I drank water from that well. That might have something to do with it, or maybe not, but I'm not letting her drink it again, that's for sure. Pure as the cliffs, he said. Damn that gristler. How's your Anine now? Shaken, but better. And now that I know this can happen, I won't risk it happening again. We're getting out of the bloom as soon as I sell my stock, and we're not coming back. Nice, let's see what you got. Ooh, she's got some serious stuff. Okay, alright. We gotta sell some of these things. Whoops. Okay, I didn't actually mean to do that. So it's generally okay to sell these... It's generally okay to sell these oddities, right? It's generally alright to sell those? Am I right about that? Generally? It's generally okay to sell these trinkets. Alright, 726. Does anyone know? Is it generally okay to sell these things? Panacea heals 30 points of health on all allies in range of target point. Wow, that's nice. Still Mirror heals 20 points of health, removes all negative fettles from all allies in range. Also nice. Shadow Step, bonded item. Plus 50% movement speed, plus 2 speed pool, plus 1 damage per effort applied. Oh, wait. My bad. I already have that equipped. Whoops. Plus 1 training level and quick finger skill. Max effort plus 1 on all non-combat tasks. Expensive, though. Okay, my chat is broken. Well, it wouldn't be a stream using this if my chat wasn't broken, so... Give me a second, guys, while I get rid of this. I shall fix that problem. Just bear with me for just a second with my chat. I noticed when no one was responding to my question, I was like, that usually means that my chat is broken. So the search for an actual functional Twitch chat program continues. I noticed when no one was responding to my question, I was... All right, so hang on one second. Okay. Yep, my chat died, but I will fix that in just a minute, so just bear with me right here. Oddities are generally okay to sell. There are some rare cases that are usable. Okay, good. We live. There you are. Okay. Yep, that's my emergency backup chat. Okay, sorry about that. So, where were we? So it is okay to sell those. All right. Training level and quick finger skill. It's really expensive. Why is it that expensive? Because the thing is, I have enough gold now that I could actually buy that slave, which is what I want to do. Man. Okay. Anything that has a use button. Okay, cool. Cool. Yeah, that's what I figured, and I haven't sold anything that has a use button, so I think we're good. Alright, I want to buy that slave, and then I want to go over and free him, and then I want to go over and talk to this thug. And then I think that's it for this area, actually.
All right.
Lot to do in this area. Oh, actually, wait. I don't think we've got this one. So let me deal with this. And then I'll buy the slave. Exactly, nonstop. I'm buying the slave to free them. Great Chilla was the first, but the bloom chooses many prophets.
On it.
Alright. A metal pylon, so polished it might be crystal, has been thrust into the bloom flesh at the junction of two armored neural axons. Whether the bulbous protrusion around it is an effect of this invasion, or whether it was the reason for the insertion in the first place, it is impossible to judge. Like so much of the bloom, it oozes both mystery and mucus. That's a great line. That's a great line. Like so much of the bloom, it oozes both mystery and mucus. Right, let's examine the pylon. The pylon appears to be the foundation of a dimensional anchor, but just the foundation. To be sure, it is in some ways the most difficult part to construct, but it's worthless without a variety of additional properly attuned numenera. To finish the project would be a considerable undertaking, far more than you could hope to attempt. You notice there's a deep sulcus in the bloom flesh where it meets the pylon. The talc filling the crevice makes it impossible to tell what, if anything, is inside. Let's study it. Judging from the ancillary organs that protrude from the nodule, it seems to be the organic equivalent of a regional control center. Not a true brain, but something more than a mere cluster of nerves. It's unclear whether it's a part of a larger mind, or a near sentient organism of its own. Let's reach into the sulcus. You're forearm deep in warm, mucousy talc when your fingers brush against something with a hard edge. Not part of the bloom flesh, but distinct from the pylon. Fortunately, your touch has dislodged it, begins sinking deeper into the crevice. Let's try to grab it. Nice. What'd I get? You plunge in deeper and catch hold of the metal object. With relief, you pull your arm and the recovered cipher out from the mucousy sulcus. Opens a channel in the nearest celestial body, fires a blast that deals 28 energy damage, confirms blindness to the nearest enemy on each turn it is active. That's pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome, but this is not going to me. She's going to be Miss Cipher. She's going to be the Cipher woman. Rin is Cipher Girl. Cipher Girl! Okay. Alright, now we're going to go talk to him, buy that thing we need to buy, and then we're going to go talk to the guard. Alright, Parson Flint. I'd like to buy a slave. Since you're not legally a merchant, I have only one slave available. The young fellow we discussed earlier. The price is 400 shins. No refunds, no returns, refunds, or restitution. I'll give you 250. That slave isn't a hardened criminal. Nobody's going to give you a better offer. So all I get is 40%? Oh, 60. Damn it. Eventually someone might. There are maws that only want blood, you know, and they don't care who they eat. Though I'd hate to see the poor boy fed to one of those maws. I don't think that's what you really want. Underneath all that bluster, you believe you're helping these people. You're giving them a second chance. Alright. 250 shins it is. But that offer is conditional upon your immediate acceptance. Walk away from this deal, sir, and it's gone for good. Damned if he isn't right. Surely none of them deserve a second chance more than that boy. Done. I'll pay 250. Very good indeed. And the deal is struck. Excellent. I never thought I'd get that much for the boy.
I know you're busy, but could we talk?
Oh, Rin's happy. Your property shall be extricated from the pit momentarily. I believe his name is Cody. Cody! He's the child of the year! Chat, we've got child of the year. Confirmed, we have the Cody. You've heard of the greatest of all time. Now, there is child of the year. Alright. The young man takes a deep breath as though preparing himself for something. He looks directly into your eyes. His expression is not merely sober. It is resigned and emotionless, almost dead. So what now? Uh-oh, did my chat die again? Alright. This is what you signed up for. Do it, Cody. Do it and be free. How'd you become a slave? Got caught stealing? Didn't that toothy merchant tell you? I volunteered. They didn't want me to, said I didn't have to, but they don't know me or what I've done. Is thievery really a capital offense in Sega's Cliffs? No, that's fine. I just wanted to make sure, because my chat broke before, so I was just making sure. I don't know, I volunteered to earn my freedom. What if I decided to feed you to a maw? You could die. Then I die. That's part of the deal, Cody. You knew that coming in. Death is freedom, too. Sort of. What are you good at? Stealing's all I've ever known, really. I guess I'm good with my hands? Could you steal for me? What? I thought we were going to free him. Oh, alright, Cody. I want to free you.
But could we talk?
What? Why? I'm a criminal. A killer. You can't set me free. A killer? I thought you were only a thief. I killed my sister. We were kids. I used to play pranks on her all the time. Stupid pranks, but I never meant any harm. But one time... Cassandra couldn't swim, right? But she loved the water. She'd go out on the harbor every day in this little coracle. Just to scare her, I dug a leak in the boat. Then I hid behind a rock and waited for her to come, but I fell asleep. I woke up to her screaming, but she was too far out. I was too late to save her. It sounds like it was an accident. Surely you've punished yourself enough. I don't know. I didn't turn myself in for a long time. I spent 10 years running, wishing I could just cut out my heart so I wouldn't have to feel the guilt and pain anymore. The third time they caught me for stealing, they told me I was a man now, responsible for my actions and old enough for a man's prison. I thought about what that meant. To be a man, to own what I did. And I decided I had to start over, but not before I'd paid for what I'd done. I heard others volunteer for slavery, like letting the bloom decide whether you are worthy of freedom or not. #SlackLife. I decided one way or another that's how I would be free, too. Your sister's death is past. She lived her life. I free you to live yours. You have suffered more than enough for your crime. I say you were free. I don't know. All right, I guess. Have I truly suffered enough? I doubt it, but then I did say I would submit to my master's wishes. Gross. But what will I do? I only know how to steal. Probably I'll just end up in prison again. What if I found you a job? Yeah, alright. You're the boss, I guess. So now I have to find a job for my former slave, huh? Find Cody a job. Alright. What's up, Rin?
I need someone to talk to. I need to talk to you.
Of course, Rin. What is it? It's about my memories. I feel like I should remember more by now, but I don't. I can't. You asked me before what my parents' names were, and I couldn't remember. I still can't. I can't remember why I left, or how I got to Sega's Cliffs, or anything that happened to me before that horrible slaver Tull captured me. I should remember by now. I can remember everything from the time I got hurt. I remember meeting Otero in the junkyard. I remember making all. But I can't remember anything before that. Nothing before the slavers at all. And I don't know why. My head is fine now, so why? How did you get hurt? Oh, I was running away from someone. I don't know who. Tull and her slavers captured me. They hurt me, then stitched me up so Tull could use me. I escaped later. Days later, I think. Otero found me in the junkyard, and then later I made my home in Sega's Cliffs. But who was I running from before Tull found me? That's what I can't remember, and I don't know why. Why do you think that is? I don't know. The memories are there, I know it. Just like those thugs knew I was in that house on Cliff's Edge. I can feel the memories, hear them, but when I look for them, they aren't there. Do you mean they're hidden? Hidden, like the thugs. Like... Oh, did you know about this? It was all, wasn't it? He hid your memories from you. Yes. Why? Why did you do this? He's been harding parts of my memory from the beginning. He wanted me to blend in to avoid undue attention, and he was worried. He thought if I knew the truth, I would have given up a long time ago. From the beginning. Tell me then, what have you been keeping from me? I ran away. I was angry at them, my parents. Something stupid, something we fought over 100 times. But this time I left. I packed my things, took my coat, and when the moon was high, I just walked out.
I'm ready to learn something new.
I thought I was prepared. Thought I was safe, but they attacked me. No, I shouldn't say their name. Soldiers, it doesn't matter. I ran. They ran faster. I made a god somehow, a god of going forth. I must have cut away into this world and fallen through it. I guess it saved my life, but then the slavers, my head, all... You kept it from me! You walked into my mind and stole from me! I can never forgive you, never! All did what he thought was best for you, Rin. That's true, but he broke my trust, picked it up, and shattered it. He's a friend. You don't throw away your friends. I can't forgive you all. Not yet, but you are my friend. We should go. We need to go. Yeah, Rin is interesting. If you can get far enough into her character, she's an interesting character. Okay, let's talk to the Memorvira thugs. Gates are shut for a reason. What about you? Bruska! This woman's face is lined with worry, though her thick build suggests she could snap a spear in two without much effort. She continually glances towards the tunnel leading out of the courtyard as though she hopes to see somebody. Gods. That's two missing. Where the hell are they? What are you looking at? Nobody gets in the fortress without permission. I can already tell you don't have it, so keep walking. You look worried about something. What's wrong? It's that obvious? You'd be worried too if you had 2 patrols go missing and you were stuck on guard duty.
I'll remember that.
Listen, if you happen to see my missing soldiers, I'd appreciate whatever news you can give me. They'd be outfitted like me. They'll be outfitted like me. I'd go looking for them myself, but... Where should I start looking for your missing patrols?
I'll remember that.
Both of the patrols were tasked with collecting duties from the gangs. They're probably somewhere in the vast interior of one of the slums, but I haven't heard from them in some time. Given the nature of the bloom, they could literally be anywhere. If I find your missing people, you let me inside? I don't decide who gets in, I just keep everyone else out. But if you find my men, I'll give you something for your trouble. There's a boy over there named Cody. I was wondering if you could give him a job. A soldier? I don't know, seems kind of mean for Cody. Can't we find something else? Yeah, we'll find something more suitable. What can you tell me about the Memorvira? She's someone you don't want to cross. Like me. What can you tell me about yourself? You're the helping type, aren't you? Not my type, but harmless, I guess. I've been in the Memorvira's service for years, ever since she first came into power. She's not one to mess with, let me tell you. She'll squash anyone in her way just to keep things tidy. At least that's how it used to be. Things are different now. The Bloom's acting strange, and even some of the gangs are getting out of control. Never crossed the Memorvira, but these days it seems there are plenty of others you shouldn't cross either. I used to think we kept the Bloom safe, for most anyway. I should know better. Nobody's safe in here. You said the Bloom is acting strangely? It used to be that the Bloom sort of favored us because we worked for the Memorvira. She seemed to predict things it would do or new maws that would open, but now? It's dangerous for us to go too deep, else the Bloom itself might swallow some of us whole. That's if we can find our way in the first place. With the maws closing and shifting like they are, it's a wonder my patrols ever get back to the fortress at all. The gangs are out of control? Can you tell me something about them? Too many to tell, but I can list a few you're likely to find nearby. There's the Murdens down where the old slave block used to be. We've tried to run them out a few times, but there always seem to be more. Can't figure out why the Bloom doesn't bother them. There's the mutants in Little Nihilish. There's a lot of quests I've got in Little Nihilish of one type or another. Let me point out that they named the place, like they're trying to make a new Nihilish right there with them as the rulers. They didn't used to give us trouble, but they've gotten bolder since the Bloom started acting up. I'm not sure which is worse at this point. And there's Artaglio and his bunch. They stay mostly in the slump. The slump? They're not so much a gang as they are a bunch of freeloaders, but they cause enough trouble with the other gangs that they're worth mentioning. I need to see the Memivira. Nobody sees the Memivira, not unless you got permission from someone who matters. Stan, I need to see her. Afraid you don't understand. Alright. Okay. So, and I have gained a level. That's what I like to see.
Yes.
What do we got? Okay, extra effort. That's easy. Invigorating conversation. On critical success in persuasion, deception, or intimidation, completely refill your intellect pool. That's useful. Or concentration increase. I like it. Oh, I forgot I got both of these. Yay! I always forget that on this one. That's cool. Alright. Unstoppable force. Gain 15% on esoteric attacks. Can someone remind me again? So, an esoteric attack. Like, is that basically any of the magic skills that I'm likely to be using? Can someone remind me before I have to go out of here, get out of the this particular screen, what esoteric is? Because I want to make sure. Forces the target to fight on your side. That's very potentially useful. Gravity manipulation, entropic field. Quantum step is one she might have had. Like that. Animate balefire. Adaptation. Maelstrom. That's what she tried to do to the the sorrow, for a little effect. But yeah, does anybody know? Because I'm thinking of gaining. I'm thinking of increasing this. Basically, I want to choose... I like this idea of mind control. I'm definitely going to do that. The question is whether I'm doing targeting eye or not. It's just an energy attack? Okay. Well, let's go with animate balefire, because I think that could be useful. Lovely. Okay, that's cool. That's fine. That's fine. Alright, now we got some quests. Missing patrols. Alvinia, find Cody a job. I'm not doing that. Okay.
On it.
Metal gates are firmly shut. They are blemished with age, but still strong. Okay. Okay.
All right, Ray.
I'm going to go down here. I'm going to rest one more time down here. And then we're going to be heading out of this main screen. One of the cool things about this game is how much stuff you have to do in this screen. If you remember, I took care of this situation a little bit. I started a quest here. I started a quest here with the whole slave auction thing. I got some stuff over here. I got something from Skady where I ended up saving her in this little mini quest thing, and her beast of burden, this Anine. I got something from here. I didn't do anything up here. I fought this construct here. So it's like, there's a lot of stuff that happens on any given screen within this game. expensive, but I'm gonna need it.
I can breathe again.
Good.
Good. I'm ready.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Good, lovely. All right, we got about 10 minutes left. So that should give us enough time to actually start to get into this next area.
All right.
Let's see what we've got. This bloom, man. Such classic Numenera. The vast interior. I'll bet. The corpse of an insect of gigantic proportions lies here. On closer inspection, you see it appears to be in the midst of getting absorbed into the wall.
Yeah, that's something I could do.
To a little Nihilish, okay.
It's a plan. Yes.
Caravan, caravan, caravan. Okay. Ah, we got some merchants. Oh, this guy. This is the one who told that other merchant about that place. What's up, Gristler? As you approach, you see two well-dressed merchants in heated conversation with a wiry man who's wearing an assortment of odd-looking leathers and hides. Upon seeing you, the wiry fellow shoos the merchants away and turns in your direction. Instead of feet, you notice that he has two hand-like appendages fashioned from metal and synth. Indeed, both of his legs have been replaced by these artificial arms that appear remarkably flexible. Looking for the trade post? Used to be in there till the bloom got hungry and ate it. At least I think that's what happened. Never can tell with this big old sack of guts we call home. So the trade post was destroyed? Could be, but I'd guess it's still around. No telling where, though. If I was you, I'd try to find a maw that would take me there. Ought to be one around here somewhere. The bloom never closes off a path for long, but finding it again, that's a whole different story.
Making a note.
Name's Gristler, by the way. Bloom guide, explorer, and scout. 3 times eaten by the bloom and still intact. Well, mostly. Where would I go to look for a maw? Used to be I could answer that question easy enough. I'd tell you just where to find 'em and where they lead and what to feed 'em. But something's got the bloom all riled up, and she's opening and closing maws however she likes. Change is coming. I can smell it. Figuratively, anyway. So if I was you, I'd try the darkest corners of this gut bag I could find. Dank and nasty places, that's where maws like to rip themselves into being. Slums are a good place to start. Little Nihilish, Surgeon's Slump. Foul little holes like that. Can you tell me a little more about the slump? About the slums? Well now, from where we are right here, you can find your way to 3 of them. Little Nihilish, where all them funny-looking mutants live. Surgeon's Slump, where folk go to get their bodies hacked or healed. And the old slave block. Folk don't go there at all, unless they're Murdens, but Murdens don't really count as folk. Tell me about Little Nihilish. First of all, it ain't so little. I guess it's bigger than the other slums by half. Used to be called something else before the mutants moved in, but nobody remembers the old name. You see, the mutants got here through a maw. They used to come and go as they pleased, trading goods from here and there, making all manner of shins. Somebody should have warned them that maws are ornery beasts, and they never do the same thing for too long. Sure enough, one day it up and closed, and all the mutants on this side got trapped in the bloom. Been stuck here ever since. Funny thing about Little Nihilish. Folk on the outside of the bloom like to pitch their rubbish in here, straight into the nearest tube or sphincter. But no matter where they dump their trash, it all finds its way to Little Nihilish. Don't know how or why, I guess that's just where the bloom likes to keep it. What do you know about Surgeon's Slump? That's where I got fitted with these. A couple of nice fellas helped me out when the bloom ate my legs. They were a little odd, I'll admit, and lacking in the social graces. Kept calling me by a number rather than my name. The Bloom blessed those doctors, even if they enjoyed their work a little too much. Nowadays, the slump is under the protection of a bunch of soldier types. Deserters, I hear, from some battle that never ends. Imagine that fighting in an endless battle. Should have thought it through before they signed up, that's what I say. I want to hear about the old slave block. Used to be a prison for slaves back in the days of Chila the Great. They carved it out of the bloom flesh with saws that spat solid light and blades that weren't all there. Of course they did. Folks say that's where Chila was chained up, and that's where her legend was born. Wouldn't know it anymore. It's all feathers and filth in there now, ever since the Murdens moved in. They're a pack of dirty thieves, and if you get too close to one of them, your thoughts get all staticky. Makes it hard to do just about anything. I hear it's because they talk to each other with their minds, but I guess they can't do it quiet and polite. To know more about maws and how they work. A maw is a door, see? A living door. It's a connection between somewhere in the bloom and another place. That other place might be right around the corner, or it might be in a whole different world. Maybe in a whole different time. It don't matter none to the bloom. Need to know. What's he doing here? Does the Memavira know about him? Only one rule with maws. You feed them what they want and they open. Trouble is, every maw wants something different. Might be an emotion or a color or the blood of one particular fella. Or if you're unlucky that day, might be your own 2 legs. Maws are stubborn, every one of them. Till you give them what they want, they'll stay shut. Unless you got a way to cut them open. Takes a special kind of weapon to do that, but the bloom don't like it one bit. She'll remember a fellow who cuts open her maws, and things won't go easy for that fellow around here. You said the bloom is acting strangely. Do you know why? She's hungry for something. Or someone. I can hear it in her voices. Just like when a maw wants to eat somebody, only this time it's the whole bloom. This sort of thing used to scare me, it did. Probably still should. Wonder if the Memavira knows who the bloom wants to eat. I'll bet she does. Why is that wagon just standing here? You'd better ask these 2 fellas here. See, they were supposed to be heading for the Ascension by way of the old trade post, but then the bloom decided to eat the trade post, and now they're stuck. I keep telling them to look on the bright side. At least they weren't inside the trade post when it got eaten, but they won't hear it. Never seen a couple of fellows so determined to be miserable. Anyway, until they decide what to do next, we're staying put. And since they're paying my wage, I do what they tell me. At least until something better comes along or someone else demands my time. Some questions about you. Alright, what questions would those be? You called yourself a bloom guide? That's right. Ain't nobody around here knows the bloom as well as old Gristler. I hide myself out to fellas like these and get 'em where they need to go. Of course, I'm happy to give advice for free. Can't say I ever get tired of talking about the bloom. Or about anything, really. Look at his clothes. Rough or reasonably well made, materials strange, a type of leather, thicker and heavier than any leather you've seen, and the colors are scabrous and ugly. Tan bloom flesh, tough but strong. Old Sunderman made these. You say you were eaten by the bloom 3 times? Yep. First time the bloom ate me, she took my senses of smell and taste. That's fine, I told myself. Now I can eat all them foul-tasting vegetables that folk always said were so good for me. Second time, the bloom took my ability to feel fear. Pfft, what I ever need that for? Just kept me from doing things that make for good stories later. Third time, the bloom took my legs. She was kind enough to cauterize the stumps, though, so I wouldn't bleed to death. Then I met a couple fellows over in the slump, and they fitted me up with these. Truth is, I'm faster and nimbler now than I ever was, but I don't like to tell too many people, or they'd all be clamoring to swap their legs for a pair of arms. Why do you refer to the bloom as she? Do I? Must be because I'm always hearing her voice. Like a whispery, chittery sound. Tells me when she's hungry or full, happy or cross. Helps to know that sort of things when I'm guiding folks through her guts. I know, right, Gross? You seem rather nonchalant about this place. Well, I've been here a long time, and the bloom ate my sense of fear, so there's that too. I like to think she's looking out for me. Sure, she takes a little part of me now and then, but life does that to all of us, don't it? Well, maybe not so literally, but you know what I mean. Okay. Awesome. Quick check to make sure these guys have nothing else going on. Okay, one is a heavy-set human with a large head and a wide bony face. I want to finish this conversation so I can move on to Lovelust. Others are particularly thin and sickly, looking very gel and head crested decorated symbols. I don't know you both dressed in rich clothing. I hope you weren't planning to visit the Ascension, friend. The only road was in there. What happened here? As we approach, the entrance grows teeth. The teeth get big and turn into a great jaw. Down it comes, swift and cruel. All this happens fast, in time it takes to walk 5 steps. The blooms look for 3 things, friend. farting up smoke to burn our eyes, pissing foul water for us to drink, and eating whoever and whatever it likes. I hate this place. Too bad it's a good road to make some shins. Or was, anyway. You were headed for the trade post? Where else? The Ascension has its own perils, but it's blessed with the bounty of useful things. Unlike this place. Try getting anyone to pay for a hunk of quivering bloom flesh. We trade in crystals from Ascension Place. Good business here, there. Bad business here. So what are you going to do now? The Gristle Man asks us to go with him into depths of the bloom, seek out other mouths, jaws, maws that lead to trade post. We are not stupid. We say no. If I find another way, I'll come and tell you. That's charitable of you, which makes me assume you have some nefarious motive. But pay it no mind, I have a pessimistic nature. It's probably just talk. He won't find anything. If he does, he won't be back for us. I'm trying to get into the Ascension. What can you tell me about it? A world made of crystal, like this. All things in Essential made of crystal. Living creatures, too. It's a cold and dark place. Leopold Bloom. The sun is too small in the sky. We don't venture far from the gate. Nobody does if they're smart. What do you think of your guide? You mean Gristler? He brought us safely through the well-traveled courtyard and across the many perilous meters of this platform. A gifted explorer indeed. Many speak well of the Gristle Man. They say the Bloom likes him, if such a thing can be. Anything to trade? Not yet. We offer salts and dyes and alchemical powders to our contact in the Ascension. It, whatever it is, absorbs what it likes and gives us crystalline artifacts in return. If we ever manage to get there, then I might have something to trade. You could try that flesh merchant on the next platform. What's his name again? Sunderman. His name is Sunderman. Too many is, but also one. Okay. If you ever reach the Ascension, we'll have something of value to sell. Crystal and Numenera of all shapes and sizes. Never the same things twice. Okay, past on the ends here, interrupted by an enormous fanged mouth. Awesome. Alright. Well, that gives us quite a lot to do next time, folks. But that time is not this time. So I want to thank everyone for being with me for this. This was a lot of fun. Been definitely enjoying Torment, and hope you guys have as well. I love those little mares, those little stories in the middle. And we're definitely making progress. We are definitely advancing forward all the time. So, but thanks to everybody. I will be back with you guys next week when I'll be continuing my playthrough of that, of this game, Torment. But I'll also be on my own channel. I'm definitely going to be back on Friday playing some Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past. Saturday, my D&D campaign, my main one with the Infinity and Beyond crew continues, so you definitely want to check that out. And I'm going to try to make up a stream that I had today to finish up this Crypt of the Sorcerer with live illustrations by Terry Toons, who's a gifted cartoonist. Unfortunately, she had some computer problems, so I had to change to something else, but I hope I'll be able to get a makeup stream somewhere in there to reschedule if we possibly can, so we will see how that works. But that's going to be it for me for right now, as I just noticed that my chat is a little messed up. Bear with me for just a second. Just a second, my chat is messed up. Like that, that's better. Good. Okay. But thanks to everybody for being here. If you like what you saw and heard, please make sure to follow the channel. Please sub to the channel as well. That's split among all the streamers, including Lovelust as well. And please make sure to check us all out on our individual channels, because we have Patreons and subscriptions and all that stuff that you guys can do as well. It was a great pleasure to have you guys here with me, as always. And now stick around for Lovelust Games, who is going to be playing some Beholder for you. She's going to be filling in for Chrono Wolf, so definitely stick around and check out her stream. She's a good streamer, and should be fun. I'm going to see, I got some dinner, but I'm hoping that I've got to go eat, but I'm hoping afterwards it'll be around so I can go check a little bit of that game out myself, because I've heard good things. That's it for me. You guys are the best. I'll catch all of you either next week for episode 87 of Pen and Pixels, or before then on my own channel. Until then, everyone be good to each other. Stick around for Lovelust, and I'll catch you all very soon. Have a good night. sun is hidden far